Daryl Putoff will not make it tonight. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Also moved. I'll second it.
Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Approve the minutes.
I think that's supposed to say area, isn't it?
Yep. Where's that at, Ray? Well, water, wastewater.
Says water can also be contained in a grassy R without outline.
Area, you're right, I read that too.
Good catch.
I was trying to figure out what it was supposed to be first. Grassy park, grassy what?
Motion to approve the last minutes.
I'll make a motion for minutes.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve last meeting's minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay.
I'll make that correction too, Ray.
Get a chance to look at the bills, Francis.
Yeah. The only one I have in question right now is, excuse me, the grease company one, that was for the air conditioner on top of this, the community center. I think either that's a Shriver problem or a grease problem. That's not our problem. I would, I guess Chris probably, I'd send that bill directly to Shriver
Okay.
with that letter from Warren. If they don't want to talk to you, then they can talk to Warren.
Franny and I have talked about Shriver a couple of
Grease
times.
company.
Spot right in the middle of the page, John, 141.
141.75. Yep.
It was about a month and a half ago. Sometime in July it was really hot and our air conditioner leaked on the floor, again, upstairs. And called Shriver 2-3 times. Dries came and fixed what they needed to fix. And called Shriver many times after that. And they don't return calls. They don't answer their phone. So Franny and I have talked and think we need to just send them a letter from Warren.
Is this
Telling
on
them.
the dance floor again?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's about I'd say a 3 foot by 3 foot area of the dance floor that got buckled again, and
Is that towards the east end, ain't it?
it's
Right
all
there
the
in
way
center.
yep, right in the center of the dance floor, all the way on the east side.
Motion to approve the bills to be paid, please.
Oh, hey guys, we should talk too about behind the bills. You've got some stuff that looks like this. We had extra policemen at the Farm Fest, and we got it this afternoon. Wanted to get it in here right away in case there was anything that we needed to talk to them about before we paid them. And these are not on the bills to be paid. So we could either add that or we could wait until next council meeting.
They hired somebody from Savannah, Georgia to come up here. Gary Bergman.
I saw that.
1408 State Road.
No, Savannah, Missouri.
Or Savannah, Missouri.
When I talked to Ted beforehand, he told me that he was going to have the same people that worked last year do this year. So I don't know who that guy is for sure.
I got 18 hours then.
It looked like we had 3 people at least at the beer garden. From
3 or 4.
10 to 2. Yeah, 10 to 2.
We have
Yeah,
the
Royce.
3 o'clock on,
Well, Royce wasn't even, didn't list where he was at. They were all 3 days.
I did see Royce at the beer garden Saturday night.
He'll tear things down Sunday night.
He was at the Midway both nights that I seen him.
I saw him Friday night, so.
I saw him Saturday night too. Saturday night.
He put in the least number of hours, Royce.
And he was here the most that I know. I didn't even see him.
I did see him.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him Friday night.
I saw him Saturday night at the beer garden.
I saw him Friday night.
I didn't cheer twice as much as Royce, so we should have saw a little bit of him.
I seen him at the parade. I will tell you that.
I assume this was allowable by their contract, right? I didn't look up the contract.
For extra police, though, yeah.
Well, the way I understand it is we get extra every year at the Farm Fest.
Farm Fest, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Just because it's been done for the last 100 years doesn't make it right.
Well, if we would have had our own town cop, we would have got extra enforcement to come to
Yeah,
town.
yeah.
Yeah, they always do. That's cool.
So do we want a motion to add this, or do you want to wait?
you want me to talk to Ted?
How much is it?
$20 an hour.
$20 an hour on it?
1460, I gotta figure.
1460, that's what I call.
Which I'm pleased to say we didn't have any problems, which is good news. Or none that I heard of anyway.
I think we had the biggest crowd we've had in a lot of years.
7, they told me.
I don't know how many, but it's been a long time.
Very impressed when the Midway was full on Friday night.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
walked,
beer garden was full Friday night too,
I walked through it.
which is unusual.
Motion to add the Lakeview Police Department law enforcement to the bills.
I would say that's just, is he gonna turn in an actual bill, or we're just gonna bill off of this, Chris?
He just faxed us over today. I didn't even get a chance to talk to him.
Let's just put it on next month.
Yeah.
It's fine with me.
Everybody's agreed with that.
That's fine with me.
So then we'll approve the bills as printed
Yeah.
with Dries bill,
Yeah,
with the Dries bill going to Shriver.
yep. So that takes our bill down to 107,579.29.
66 of that was already paid too, so 66,000 was already paid up here.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually, a lot more than that, but 66,000
Yeah.
was the main
When
one.
we repaired the turbine.
Oh, what was that now again?
It's right
Was that
here.
something with
I don't know, Mark, you know? I looked at the bill, but I didn't.
Most of these.
I'm not sure if
the, yeah.
turbine repairs were, but we had some trouble with the fiber optic communication.
Oh.
I just had them send down a fiber, and I fixed that myself. So that saved us probably a couple thousand more.
This was,
And I don't know what that other one was.
The other one was mostly driving time,
There's 2 guys again.
2 guys driving. if I remember right.
The driving time just killed.
what's the name of it?
Asbestos.
Vestas.
Way
Yeah.
back. This was, blade.
Yeah, 2, I can't remember now.
Blade inspection. Travel to turbine to perform blade inspection. Blade inspection, lightning damage.
That
Then we
should
got
have
it
been
last
several
year.
months ago.
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
When they find out.
It
I
doesn't
mean,
say.
that's, you know, to me, that's, my comment was after we fix that blade, to look out because we're gonna ruin our turbine that's gonna be out around, you know? And I'm just wondering what they found out, if they still think it's
So
okay.
this bill was from last year?
Should've been from 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been it, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
A blade inspection and then fixing it? That should've been from 2010.
We just never paid it before?
No, we paid, it was, not 25,000 something we paid.
Yeah, it was high
Huh.
price. And we should've already paid that.
Well, yeah, we just have 1,500 here, I just wondered what it was, what they,
Oh,
When did we get this, Tony, do you know?
We just got it.
It just came in the mail.
Let's take this one off too, guys, and let me do some research on this. 8/25 is when the, looks like when the bill was sent.
8/25, so they sent it Thursday and
And today's the 22nd?
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, hell, that's 2010. 8/23, that's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
I don't know, let's take it off, let me do some research on that one.
Yeah, I just wanna know, you know, if they're inspecting it every year and we're paying for it, I just wanna know what they're telling us too, because I still am scared of throwing that turbine out.
106,
of
079,
whack, you
yeah.
know. We're self-insured.
Right.
It costs you $175 for a new turbine now, you know? That's thousands.
Approve the bills to be paid with the two to be taken off at this time would be
So that goes 106,
Dries and
079,
Vestas.
29.
Motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the bills with the two taken off, which is Dries Companies and Vestas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay.
Can I bring up something kind of in relation to the bills?
Yeah.
Is, I know it's probably been 6-8 months ago, we talked about switching over to month-end billing. And we're talking about doing that in like September, October, where our usage was lowest. So our monthly bills would be the same as, our readings would be the same as our
So we could add 10 days to the billing cycle, it wouldn't be that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
talked about that last year once.
Yeah, we talked about doing that. So now we're up like September, October again. I'd say the end of September would be probably the lowest usage.
Have our
Pretty much.
meter readings then on the first or last day of the month? Or?
Yeah, and then I think if we suffered anything, it would be because they would have some into the next bracket, but I think it'd be so little.
Pretty minimal.
Yeah, I think it'd be minimal, at least in September, because electricity should be low. Gas probably isn't even hardly a factor. Water or sewer, I don't know if that would make much
Unless you
difference.
want to read them twice, but that would be.
Yeah, but then how do you bill them? Because then you got minimums in there.
Minimum,
Yeah,
yeah.
We don't want any more readings than we have to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I said, then we get a minimum reading and we're charging for minimum
Right.
charges, that won't work either.
So, I don't know, I just think it'd be easier to compare
Oh.
usages if they're on the same
Same cycle.
So then we would send a letter out at the beginning of next month saying that your billing cycle will go clear till the end of the month in September.
So it'd be 40 days instead of 30
40
days.
days instead of 30.
But it's really, would be a benefit because, I mean, it's not like we're,
Sure.
Yeah,
we're not.
No, they're not going to charge anymore. Their bill's going to be a little higher probably
One
time.
month is going to be, but the next month it'll be lower for them.
Yeah.
right. But
We're
to
always
get
on the
extra
winning
people-
side of that. I'll say.
Yeah, someone might be on the winning side of that, really.
Well, are we gonna,
Because
you know,
they
is
don't
the bill
use
still due at the
minimum.
same time?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
They'll do the 22nd, isn't it? of the
Yeah.
month?
Mm-hmm.
You read them
I
on-
mean, that's fine, except we're charging them for 10 more days and still do the same day.
Well, how long does it take
But, you
to do the billing?
It takes me 1 to 2 days to enter all the readings and to get them open.
Yeah, I think we can, within this
So we
office.
send them
we
out
would
the
like-
first month, so we'd be sending off the 5th, maybe.
So we read the meters on the 20th, so we could change that to read.
To the
whatever
30th.
Time you guys want us to read them.
The last day of the month,
Yeah.
whatever that day is.
Yeah. Well, you're talking like the 30th or?
31st this
Whatever
month.
the last day of the month is.
28th,
It changes, we can
28th.
change with the calendar.
no, the 20th of February, so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that takes a motion, or we just do
Yeah,
it.
no, I want to make sure that we do that legal. I'd just soon have a motion, so it's on the books.
Well, then it's not technically on the agenda, although
No.
I guess it's financial in nature, I don't know.
Well,
But we'd be talking September 30th, so we have 2 more meetings before then.
the 12th and
Yeah.
the 26th.
Yeah.
So I could put it on the 12th.
Like
I
Jimmy.
mean, I could send a letter out.
We should send a
Well,
letter out, and then,
Either that, yeah, you
Put it on
better
the
have the
12th
letter ready to
agenda.
go on the 12th.
Yeah.
yeah, then if we
So
got,
that if you put it in the mail on the 12th, they'll get it on the 13th. And then the end of the day, at the 12th, then we'll make the motion that night and they'll get it the next morning.
well, no, we
No, maybe-
should put, we send a letter out first of the month.
Send a letter out the first of the month, and
No,
say on there any concerns they stop in the city
Right.
hall and
Yeah.
voice their
Voice their
concerns.
opinion.
Yeah,
I think that's
Doors
plenty
always
fair.
open.
yeah, no, yeah, and that
We
way,
have a whole month not quite
For
a month.
complaints.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Okay, you got that down, Chris?
Yeah.
Well, no, if there's,
I mean, you
I mean, if
know,
there's too many complaints, then we'll do
basically
it.
from a consumer standpoint, we're just getting those 10 days sooner now.
Yeah,
Right,
Because they're still billing at the same time.
right.
yeah.
But it still has to do more with us getting online with our billing.
Well, the other thing, you gotta cut off the payment date so we can get them all recorded before you get the next bill out, but you could move it from the 22nd to the 20th.
The 28th or whatever, the
Well, you
25th.
have to have a few days in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 28th or 27th or somewhere in there. Because that, how long did it take you to put payments in?
You see, that'd still be in the month payment.
Of course, there's a
No,
lot
the
of
payment-
people
the
that pay
payment-
Every day.
The payments are so weird because some people pay as soon as they get their bill, and some people pay right in the middle, and then some people pay the
Right, towards the
22nd.
end.
My $2,000 bill this month, I paid the last day that I had to.
I was gonna say, a lot of us
It was
pay the
2,000?
25th, because we just,
Well, I was gonna say, and then a lot of people pay the 23rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, so. It depends on, you know,
I think we could change the payment date to the 20th.
No, we-
As long as you get it paid in the same month, they get
Yeah,
it 28th or
28th.
something like that.
Right. And if it's stressed for time getting them in, just cut them off 27th. They're not gonna know.
Yeah.
You know,
I
that
pay-
would help a lot on our reports that we have to do to the DOT, the Fed DOT and stuff on, because we're doing like on the 20th, but everything is on the end of the month or first month, you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
that
agree.
help us a lot on reports too.
okay.
I agree.
Well, I know to get my Visa payments in, by the time it's due, you have to send at least 2 weeks earlier.
Who's online?
You know,
I should
like,
think.
Okay, let's move on to old business, well, water, wastewater, and generator.
The only reason this is on here, guys, Terry Heilger stopped in here and talked to me, I don't know, one day last week. He went down and looked at the site, and he sent a updated bid, I guess, estimate. Yeah, you guys got that in front of you. And then what's behind it is the permit number 6 water plan that you have to fill out. But the one thing that I wanted to tell you is that Terry and I talked for quite a while, and he said that the thing that they're going to do is they're going to come in and scrub this deal, and they're going to see if there's a hole. So we're not going to have to waste $8,000 to find out if this is a bust. We're going to know that there's a hole in it. They're going to say, okay, this is probably not going to work, and go on our way. So, you know, it's going to cost whatever that costs, I don't know. He didn't say what that would cost, but we're not gonna have to spend all the time doing that. So, I mean, at least it won't be an $8,000 bust if it doesn't work.
Well, he was talking about discharge, the water or whatever here or something, how would it say that?
He added a couple hours for water disposal,
That water disposal.
if they have
Now,
to
I
stay
know
by.
it's here Sergeant Bluff, and I assume these are new wells. But they had to pump them 24 hours at 200, or however many, they were pumping 2 to 2.5 million gallons of water between the 3 wells or something like that. Well, if we got 800,000 gallons of water, we're not gonna hold them in the,
No,
if we gotta pump 24 hours at that.
you don't know how deep these wells are, Ray, and, you know,
I guess they can do this in 8 hours anyway,
Yeah.
right.
you know.
Okay,
He's talking-
I meant, do they have to
Yeah, but
flush
how
it, they have
much
to pump it? They have-
water you gonna pump out?
Yeah, they have to test the well afterwards if it is, I mean, they have to pump. They have to pump for 24 hours or?
I would think that water.
No,
That water
it
goes
didn't.
clean.
Yeah.
It didn't sound to me like that's what they were gonna do.
Whatever.
What he told me was they come in, they've got a big trailer. They bail out all the gravel that's in there now. They take that out. Then they see what's gonna happen. They scrub it, you know, see how good it looks. When they do put the chemicals in, then they run whatever they take out of the well, they pump into this trailer, they neutralize it, and then they pump it into our trailer, and then we haul it down to the airport and let it go on the grass. So it's basically neutralized before it even ever hits the dirt.
Our trailer doesn't leak, does it?
I hope not.
What?
I wasn't looking at you, I was getting a little closer
Do we
here.
have
Oh, right.
do we have a trailer?
We've got a trailer, we got a dump truck, but that's what I'm just saying, are we gonna leak it all the way down there and have somebody go, hey?
No, we are not gonna do that.
Basically, we drink this water, so I don't know why.
Well, this chemically treated
Not
water.
chemically treated, I know, but
We hold the
can't,
same.
they can't hold that much, can
No,
a 40-foot well?
He didn't think there would be a lot of water.
That's what it's-
He thought 5,000 gallon would be
Yeah.
plenty.
They were pumping 1,100 gallons per minute, 24 hours.
Oh, we're not gonna do that much.
No, I hope we don't do that much.
The drainage, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then we got, so unless there's any other questions there, we'll go to electric transformers. I just got this email today from Jeff Kuehl, the guy in Sanborn, that they're selling that transformer that we talked about. If we could, Rob suggested if we could get it for total cost of less than half of a brand new one, which this is pretty close. And remember, this is a live front. We have a dead front, so we'd have to do some fixing. What do you think, Mark? $1,000?
Well, I talked to Brian at Wesco, and what we have now is what they call a dead front. It's like elbows, rubber thing that's plugged on there now. And what they got is a live front where this comes wires coming up. Then you got little insulator things, and it hooks right there. And if you reach in there, you can get electrocuted. What we got is a dead front, where you reach in there, you probably wouldn't, you don't want to do it, but then I talked to Brian, and I can make adapters going from live front to dead front. And I can have all them made up, and I can probably have them made up for, do it myself and buy the material for probably $1,000, $1,500. So we just plug these adapters in to our dead front and adapt it over to the live front. But I'd like to go up Sanborn and kind of look that thing over. Sure, we got pictures and stuff, but I would sure like to be there and look at it to make sure it would work before we make a decision. What did they want for that, Chris?
7,000.
7,000. And when we have that from TNR, that was 15,000.
15 something, yeah, so we can't, I mean, we can't go too much higher to make it feasible.
Right, but we also have to figure out, it's gonna cost us some money to get the thing down here too, trucking it down here. And I don't know what trucking would be, or
You said it weighs 10,000 pounds,
that one does.
so,
But can we get a car trailer that hooks behind a pickup and haul it down here ourselves? You know, that's a possibility.
What is that again, Chris? What town?
Sanborn.
Sanborn, okay.
Is that up there by,
By Sheldon,
Yeah.
Hartley,
Yeah.
Melvin.
Would your fifth wheel carry that, Randy?
Oh, yeah. No problem.
I'd use one of our tractors, but I don't have a flatbed.
No problem going to be with that.
Would it be smart to get that checked by these guys here or something first? Or can't they check them when they run them? Like these transformers?
yeah, if they decommissioned it, it'd be pretty hard to energize it to see if it even worked.
Yeah, well, that's what,
We gotta kind of go by, yeah, it worked, but okay, how long is it gonna work?
And I think that was Rob's point. You know, if we spend more than half on it, then probably not doing much good.
Right.
we gotta send it in and get it rebuilt.
And that was up in South Dakota somewhere we sent that other one.
Yeah, Coleman.
Yeah.
And, if we have to send the thing in, get it rebuilt, I think they said going from live front to dead front is gonna be another 5 to 6, 7,000 bucks. But that's a lot more than what we wanna spend on the thing, is what I'm hearing. So if I could get adapters to go from live front to dead front for maybe 1,000 or whatever, that'd be better than having them.
But it still hasn't been tested.
Or else we just buy a new one for 15,
Yeah.
16.
And really, the one that we've got isn't in bad shape.
No, I
Right.
just had it tested, and we'll get to that, and it's in good shape yet.
I think
The oil
the
came back fine.
reason we were doing this is because we bought the 1667 and you guys said, let's check on the other one and see if we can get one.
Right.
If we can get one. I mean, we can get a brand new one in 3 to 6 days. So,
Is that the one that tested one? No.
Yeah, about 1,500.
One NA, huh? Or 2 NA, which one?
It'd be the 1,500 KVA.
Concern is if it goes down 3 to 6 days,
yeah.
a lot of people are going to be without, so we have
And I
to
think it's gonna be
Take
longer
some.
than that. But we gotta get
cover
down
for
here.
that.
And this is the one that goes from 24 to 12
12.5.
outside.
Yep. And that runs all Hallett's and runs Flat Acres and all
What
that.
does he mean by have vendors that will give us that for it? What-
TNR will give them $466 a KVA or $7,000 for it. Because then they'll rebuild it and sell it.
Well, I think we should let the KVA have it.
And then when I see that, I kind of wonder why TNR is wanting to sell us one like that for 15,000 when they're only going to give them guys 7,000. I got a question like that.
They gotta make money off of it.
Well, that's true.
It's just like when we sell electricity, we put a little on it, right?
Yeah.
Just to make money.
But you're saying they'd have to refurbish this one?
Yeah, they have
To
to.
resell it.
Yeah, the one that they would buy for that, what was it?
So the one for 15,000 we were gonna buy would be refurbished, not
Right.
new?
All new oil, refurbished, rebuilt,
Okay.
whatever.
Same one, just repurposed.
All right.
But this is what, like TNR, I don't know who they got,
Exactly.
would buy it from them and then they'd have to refurbish it, so.
And then
They
it's on
buy
the
it for
15.
18, so it doesn't.
100% mark.
Yeah.
Like the what business?
Like the grocery business.
Yeah.
Well, does it make a difference on what year these were built? On how newer each one of them is?
Know if it's been refurbished. Yes, if it hasn't been refurbished. if it's old, we don't know what's there. If it's refurbished, then they take it in there, test it out for whatever they could test, for arcing, shorting out possibilities and all that.
What kind of warranty comes with that after it's been refurbished?
I think a year or 2 years. I'm not sure, but that's about it.
So if you purchase a new and leave it sit there for a year, don't use it, the warranty's out.
Yeah. So we're half.
If we bought this, how hard would it be to energize it and then test it? Is that a tough job, or?
It could be because we'd have to take an outage and everybody's going to be bitching about no electricity.
That would be just to switch it over, though.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you could,
If
wouldn't have
we
to be
bought that
out
other
there.
thing, then I can dig it up and put conduit through there and wires. So we just have what they call feed-throughs, plug them in, go over, plug the new transformer in, and then we'd worry about having to get the old transformer lifted up off the high voltage later on. But the outages would be minimal, I would think. A couple hours instead of 2-3 weeks.
Jesus. Better do it in September.
Because when I talked to TNR, they said if we had a transformer like that, it's weeks to have one rebuilt and refurbished for us.
So what do you want to do?
Well, I'm thinking if we bought it and we set it in there and tested it, and it wasn't good, then we'd have to refurbish it, right?
Right,
And if we refurbished it, then we'd have 50,000 in it.
probably.
But you got set time. You're gonna have to have a crane that comes in and sets it, and if it's gotta be taken back out and refurbished again, you're
Gotta
gonna
take
have that crane back out.
And ship it up there, ship it back.
Yeah, then you've got that crane for 3 tracks. Actually, to set it,
So
take
you
it
just,
out,
so you just
set it
will
3
buy a
times.
brand new one,
Just
17,000.
go buy a refurbished one, that's kind of what you're saying.
And, it's going to have a little bit more cost, putting a concrete pad there and conduit through there. But, concrete isn't probably that big a deal.
Yeah.
You're gonna save,
Or it might be good, that one might run like new.
Yeah. You don't know.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
Might be
let's
better
flip-
than new.
Let's flip a coin.
It'd be a hard call.
You call it, Ray.
I would say, and you guys make your own decision, I would say get that refurbished one, have it sitting there, have the conduits there, some wires and the dead front, so we can just unplug one and put, they call them feed-throughs, but they're just like an adapter. They're like 2 deals where you plug an elbow in one, plug an elbow in the other one. It's like a junction type thing. Feeds over into the other transformer and plug them in and do the same thing with the 2400 and the 12470.
What's our lead time? How long does it take to get a new one?
I think 4 to 6 weeks.
And
Refurbished.
then, so that brings us down to the 1st of October or whatever, or middle of October, so we probably wouldn't even get it installed until next spring, would we?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you can get it installed by the end of
But if
October, wouldn't you?
If we got the footprint of the
Yeah.
one that we could possibly get, pour the concrete, get the conduit through there, get the wires through there, and get them all ready to go, terminated, the ends on them, everything. Then when we get that transformer, we set it on that cement pad. We already got all that stuff done to where we couldn't do it if the ground was frozen.
All right, thinking ahead here, how many of these 2400 to 12.5, if we were going to go to 12.5 to 2400s, how many of those would we need to run our system? Go in the other direction.
for step-ups.
The long-term goal then is to go from 69 to 12.5.
Right.
But when we go to 69 to 12.5, we're probably gonna still have 2,400, so we can turn these around, right?
Right.
And run them back down to 2,400. If we did our whole system that way, how many of these would we need to
Probably
run?
4 or 5. And we got
4 or
5,
5?
we got 5 circuits.
Yeah, you need one for every circuit? Because they're going back down the other way, wouldn't you have
I
more
could say
amps out of them?
3 to 4, wouldn't we, Mark?
Well,
We want it so you can, if you had to sectionalize, now we're not
we
gonna take
we
out
have
half
to
the town just
sectionalize
to
it
work
off
on
now.
one.
We got 5 circuits in
Yeah, I
town,
know
we have to sectionalize it off. So if we would go our new sub 69 to 12.5,
Right.
okay, and then
We need one of these to run a 12.
we have to keep both of our subs up running.
Right.
And then we could probably do 2 or 3 of the step ups to go from 2,400 to 12.5.
No, I want to go from
I'd have to-
12.5 to 2,400.
12.5 to
I
2,400.
want to go down the other way and do away with the 2,400
Right.
So,
So that'd be a step up.
transformer. I'll just
Because we
step
got 2,400 now,
up. Right.
and when we
But let's
do
say
our
we
new-
rip those out, and we're going to go from 12, we're going to stay with the 2,400, but we're going to go from 12.5 to 2,400. How many, because we can take that one we have and turn it around, right?
Right. Because the transformer doesn't know the difference. We
Right,
can
so if we
either way.
go 12.5 to 2,400, we have 5 circuits. Do we need one of those for every circuit, or could we run a couple circuits off each
Well,
one?
we could probably get by with maybe a couple because we'd have to go from 12.5 down to 2,400 and then convert our circuits over.
Right.
And transformers, line, everything, insulators, everything. And so we would probably have to go 12.5, 2,400, and then we'd have to take that circuit and raise it up to 12.5, and then we'd have to do that whole circuit within a short time, because we can't go 12.5, 2,400.
I'm just saying run out of the sub. I'm not changing the distribution system at all.
Oh,
All I want to do is run from the 12.5 to 2,400.
400, and
Same
then
distribution system.
eventually switch it over.
No, I just want to take them 5 circuits and run them from 12.5 to 2,400. I want to know how many transformers I need from 12.5 to 2,400 to run 5 circuits. Don't they put out more amps than the ones we have? No?
Yeah. But it gets pretty technical because your 2,400 consumes a lot more amperage than your 12.5 would be.
Oh, that's true.
Because, like, on a 2,400 amp circuit, if we're running 200 amps on 2,400, and you go 12.5 running about 15 to 25 amps.
Yeah.
So we'd have to have an engineer try to figure out.
Anyway, just so all I get into is if we bought another one, it wouldn't go to waste if we stayed
No,
with some
it wouldn't.
2,400 lines. It'd give you a longer period of time to convert.
Yeah, if we bought another one, we could take that 2,400 from the sub now and convert it to 12.5. Okay, then what we would do is take that circuit into the sub that's already 12.5 and just hook it in because it's already 12.5 because we'd already have the transformers, line, and all that built for 12.5. That'd be the step up that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
So to simplify it, our circuit going out to Helix and stuff is 12.5 now. So what we would do is get rid of that 2,400 to 12.5 transformer we got out there now, and from our new sub, take it right to 12.5. Then we can take that 12.5 transformer, put it on another line, another circuit, and do the same thing eventually.
And run it back down to 2,400.
I think that we got 5 circuits. If we go 12.5 for the whole town, we can get down to about 3.
what I thought.
instead of 5.
So then we should buy a new or a refurbished transformer.
I recommend that, I think we should.
What do you guys think?
I think those things belong along the same line, really.
I do too, and you know you got something that
You
works.
got something that works, yeah, otherwise you're,
You know, if this,
Not
if
like
we
we're
never
spending
need it,
$100,000.
no,
I agree.
Then we'd have to hire an engineer.
and
Well,
then we get one with dead front, we just have it right beside what we got there,
yeah,
and
you should
take conduit across for everybody, and make my jumpers, well, there wouldn't really be a jumper, they're what they call a feed through. They're just 2 nipples that come out, and you just plug your elbows in, and it's just a feed through. They make 2, 3, and 4 point feed throughs when you branch off. But that is,
If you wanted to energize the second one and take the first one down, how long do you think that would take? An hour?
yeah,
So you could shut that line off for an hour.
if
Two.
that
I think
transformer
you're gonna
blew-
buy it, you better run it back and forth every once in a while, so they
Yeah,
don't sit there
so
unenergized.
it's,
So they're
hard to
used.
sit there,
Yeah, so you know they work.
because
Yeah,
the transformer
get your warranty out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Make sure it's gonna work.
yeah.
well, the transformer sitting there will pick up moisture if you don't ever use it. Because when you're using a transformer, it creates heat, and it has a tendency to evaporate the moisture out of the oil that you naturally occur in a transformer.
Then how much water would this sucker have? Been sitting there since what, 2007 or something,
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah.
Somewhere
We
last.
could rinse our well out.
There you go. Probably could.
I will make the motion that we purchase the refurbished, you know the
1500
numbers,
kVA.
1,500
1500
kVA.
kVA.
Second?
I'd second it.
Been moved and seconded to purchase the refurbished 1,500 kVA. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay.
And I got one more thing.
Yeah, that's not the end of the transformers.
Those transformers should be coming that we talked about to get for south of town, the 12470, 2400. They should be coming. And they're working on that transformer that we bought for the substation, have for backup at 1667. And they couldn't find a shorter one, so they had a taller one. I said that's fine, because then we won't have to put that foot of concrete, and we have to have 11.5 feet of clearance from the ground to that 69,000 kV, and we're going to have like 12 or 13 feet. And I said that's even better yet. And we don't have to pour concrete and raise the pad up to set that transformer on.
Good.
But there is some bad news. We're gonna talk about the ones that they tested.
Yeah,
That's
they're
this stuff
starting to
here.
go south on it. That's that report there.
Yeah. They're both the same report, or they're both different reports?
One was done on June 8th, and one was done on August 17th, John. On the first page, you can see that. See the 6811?
Same level. All right.
And there's a lot of numbers in here, and I said, Mark, let's make this as dumb as possible so we can understand it.
Oh, I failed at that.
So I can understand it.
And basically what it's saying in that report, our numbers are going up on hydrogen, CO, and CO2, and there's something happening in there. So I would like to wait before we do anything, another month or 2 months, and have another check of the oil, so we can have a history. And TNR said that you might have some spikes, then they might level off. And then I'm going to be calling AB&B tomorrow, South of Boston Transformer Company, that's wherever they are. And I'm going to ask them what these numbers really mean. The hydrogen is coming up, and it sounds like deterioration in internal arcing in them transformers?
Just like the last one was, I'll bet. Because it says the oil may need reconditioning for further service, the moisture content is too high. Wasn't that the last problem that we had? Because it was arcing inside.
Yeah.
Did I-
When we set that thing in, they said they could not see anything wrong with it and it wasn't coming up. So I'm gonna talk to TNR, and I said, can't we just, change the oil on it, like you do your car? And try that.
Not quite that easy though.
No,
Be nice if it was.
It could be done before then.
Well, there's two of them apparently that are,
two of them that are going south on it.
yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, the condition 2011, 2010 comparison. You got two that are in 4, and over here it says, also considering taking any condition 4 units out of service immediately, and it's like highlighted.
Yeah.
So we have 2 in the 4 category?
Mhm.
No, we're only buying one that's like it. Now that wouldn't happen to be the 2 that were hooked up to take care of the one that went down that's 1 and 1.
Well,
Is that the
Yeah,
case?
because there's only 3 up there.
There's only two.
Well, I know, but we had 2 of them.
Which one we replaced?
The 1 and 1 one?
The,
Have the 1-1.
The 1-1? That should be the new one, right? So then we
Although
over,
looking at the numbers, maybe the last one.
The east
No,
one-
it's a step up, that's a step up.
that, be serial number 0101. Is
Yeah.
the one we took up there to TNR,
that's the refurbished one.
That's what
and that's the one they redid. And all them numbers are looking fine.
So that means the other 2 took a hit while we were running those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I personally don't think we should wait 2 months. I think we should get TNR back here as soon as we can, which is gonna be the middle of September, the way it sounds. They're
They
pretty
said they
good.
can come back anytime. They didn't recommend, or they recommended between 60 and, or 30 and 60 days, come back and retest, so we can have a, kind of a history if it's climbing, and we still have time and an opportunity to try to make an educated decision what we want to
Now,
do.
when is
We
this,
kind of have a
when is
history already
this,
from June
when's
to August.
this 4th one coming in?
6 weeks.
This one
6 weeks,
6 weeks.
yeah.
6
They
trips
said,
from
what did they say, 3 to
4 weeks ago,
3
though.
months?
When did we order that?
3 months.
So I don't quite understand.
So if you're looking at the 1st October,
Oil screen.
Well, then we have to get that one set, right? And then if we took out one of these, which would probably be the 3-4 one,
Actually, on your number
You ordered that 4 weeks ago, didn't you?
102,
Yeah,
on your 102, the oil condition got better than the condition of the,
under 102.
yeah. That, it's a 1 now, and it was a 2 in 2010 on the oil screen summary.
Okay, the 101's the east one, that's the one we just had up TNR. last
All the oil
month.
screens look good, though, Ray.
Yes, when I was looking, that's a 1 now, and it was a 2 last year.
Well, they're all ones.
Well, see, okay,
that
there was a 2 last year.
yellow flag deal on it, Mark, have they, any of them come up?
Uh-uh,
None of them have come up?
no.
Okay.
And that's why we took that 101 or whatever it was, the east one.
That's why we took it out in the first place, because the yellow flag
We
was
took
coming
the
up.
flag, and they said, well, when them flags come off on them transformers, you had excess pressure in it, and that's what trips it, and that's what them yellow flags are for on top.
And if I remember correctly, you told me that tripped twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
But I can't figure out when they took it up there, they seemed that they could find anything wrong, you know, just some wires was moved over to the wrong
Well, you
spot.
thought there was possible internal arcing.
Yeah.
That's what they told you.
Yeah.
But they couldn't actually pinpoint it for sure.
Right.
But they thought it was possible internal arcing,
Mm-hmm.
which is the same thing that we're running up against now in the resistance
Oh,
of
the
these.
other two. And the center one, that went up quite a bit. If you look down on that hydrogen level, on the 103, the serial number 103.
I'm going to find that on here, we're going through that.
There, yeah. In the middle, right? It's in front of one of the 2.
Clear comes up. Transformer comes up.
It's the center tram stuff.
What do you, what's the front date on here?
Here,
You
John.
know, or the-
It's on this one, it's on the 6/8/11.
Okay,
6/8/11.
6/8/11.
Right here.
Well, maybe.
One,
Yeah, center,
one,
solid,
three, real quick.
right here. Got it.
The picture here, and that. They do have a comparison insulating fluid
This one.
analysis.
It says retest in 1 to 3 months. I know, 103.
So it went from 12 to
0103.
1377.
Didn't go up bad in the hydrogen though,
Looking at,
unless that's, is that
yeah.
statistically high, Mark?
Well, from 1243 to 13,100.
1377.
Look at the limits though, Steve.
Yeah, look at limits,
120
greater than 100.
or 100, yeah.
What do you see limits on
Clear to the
Way
right.
over on the
Clear to
right.
the
there?
right.
There.
And then on the very bottom, it says equipment condition. Back in 6/2 of 11 of the 3, 6/1 of 2010 is a 2, and 8/10 of 11 is a 4.
When these exploded, they make a big sound.
So it's getting worse?
Where is that?
The higher the number,
There's my
Yeah.
the worse it's getting?
Condition 1
Hurt
is,
him, but
Hope we don't find out.
yeah, 13.
carbon monoxide,
Holy crap.
carbon dioxide, quite a bit.
Well, the next 102 is not much, but it's 80. But it
But
was
at the bottom, it says the oil condition is satisfactory for continued use. And that's on 103.
yeah. But then you go on 102, that's a couple pages behind
Yeah.
it.
It went from 25 to 883 in that same 2-month
Yeah.
period.
Yep.
It's got 2 pluses
Shot up
on it.
that much?
Which one's that, we're looking at 101?
That's,
That's
no, 102.
Yeah, next 2 pages back
102 must be back.
Yeah, a couple pages
is
back.
behind 103.
102, 103.
And then they also told me that you gotta look at carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Cause that has something to do with the internal insulation stuff breaking down,
Carbon
or
monoxide
electrical
went down, too.
discharges, or,
That's good.
The
Carbon
103
dioxide
again
went
is
up, these
a lot worse than the other.
I would say 102 is worse than 103, right?
No.
Look at the carbon monoxide, or carbon dioxide went up.
But
today.
it's closer to the limit.
Both of them went down.
see, the 102, or 103 is high.
Okay, went down, went down, yeah, but yeah.
But the 102 went up so much,
62.
But then we're still up.
25 to 883.
Yeah.
Limits is 2,500.
But it was 7,000? No, it was 450.
No, it was 7,000, you're right.
Yeah,
I think you just do for oil change. I thought just using mineral oil anyway.
yeah. And that's when,
Can the oil be changed right there at the station?
They can come down.
Yeah, they can
This-
come
I think
down.
we did that, we did it before one other time, we went, and
Yeah.
change their phone number, right?
we'll have to probably take an outage, but, because they can't change it with.
Hot, live.
But I think they come down and change the oil right
I
at the,
don't know.
so.
Can you find out downtime, cost?
Alright,
Where did we get this information?
TNR, wasn't it?
I don't
Yeah.
know when.
Six, what did it say, 6?
Eight,
Eight,
2011 is when they took
whatever it
it.
was.
I know, but when did this information, when did they send all this to us?
I just saw it today.
We got it Friday in the mail, didn't we, Tony?
Oh, yeah.
17, so it comes up in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, you and I talked to him on the phone Thursday, and I think we got it Friday in the mail.
Yeah, we got some preliminary.
Right, a lot more numbers put together, and oil changes and what it takes and all
Right.
that, and
I'll
Downtime?
call them up to see downtime, what it takes, oil change, cost of oil change, see if oil change would do any good.
To me, it would. I mean, it looks like a no-brainer to me, but
And I'm guessing the cost is gonna be a hell of a lot less than $42,000.
Yeah.
552 gallons of oil.
Well, how much did it cost to refurbish that 101?
Was it 20?
What was that?
Was it 30,000?
I was thinking it was 30, was it 37?
Oh, wasn't it?
It was quite a bit.
It was in, yeah, it was in that range.
I guess I could back and look, I'm not sure.
I thought it was right at the 30,000 mark.
I was.
I had 27 was stuck in my head.
Okay.
Maybe they talked to 30 to start with or something.
Yeah, okay, that sticks in my head.
I don't know that they did a whole lot to it. They just inspected it, said it was fine, changed oil on it.
But did that include our transportation costs in that,
Yeah.
Francis?
Yeah.
I think
Now,
that,
transportation costs too.
plus I think that's what, with the crane sitting in there
The
too.
crane was expensive.
Well, let's table that until next meeting.
All right, I'll get all that information for you guys.
Come with a
I
plan.
don't already have a lot of information.
Just wanted to do it.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I looked at that, looked at that, looked at that.
Street
I'll get
costs.
that dead, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead,
I'll
Mark.
get that dead truck coming. And is that voted on to
Yeah. Yeah, I think we already said.
get that 1,500 dead truck? Okay.
Refurbished one.
Yeah, the refurb was
Refurb,
1,500. Okay.
Oh, you must have got a hold of that Kent Doll, that number I gave you.
Now, I got a hold of a lot of people about street
Okay,
stuff.
we're gonna move right into street costs.
Ronald Pierce called me back the other day.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep, you bet. Yep.
Where it's gonna cost $77,467 to do all 5 of these on the list that you guys saw last meeting. Ronald Pierce can do it for $160,000.
Well, you got it.
So I think he's out. Kent Dahl didn't want anything to do with it.
Kent did anything?
Nope.
Really?
No, he said if he has any sealing done, he calls Bob Wagner from Blacktop, the guy that gave us the bid. Fort Dodge Asphalt finally got back to me today, and I'm going to ask David if he knows anything about slurry seal.
Yep.
Do you have a recommendation for us on slurry seal? This is Dave Stern from Snyder and Associates, guys.
You guys have a bunch of streets with it on there now.
No.
We generally don't do it over new concrete streets then, if that's what you're looking at.
Well, that's not really what we're looking at.
I guess I'm not familiar with what you're doing.
The only reason why that came up is because we talked to Bob Wagner from
Okay.
Blacktop Service, and he's going to do a level and seal on these bids right here.
Okay.
Come in with a real thin layer of asphalt, and then you seal it with...
It basically seals up all your cracks. It doesn't improve the strength or anything of your streets.
right.
Are they in pretty good
Improves it.
shape other than cracking?
I would say pretty
Then it would
so.
be okay.
Pretty
It's
well. The one thing that I did find out about slurry was I talked to Jared over in Ida Grove, and they had a runway slurried about 15 years ago. These guys, Fort Dodge Asphalt, did it.
Okay.
And I asked Jared about the runway, and he said, oh, I don't know anything about having it slurry, but we just spent $300,000 on it 6 years ago to have it repaved. So,
That wouldn't have been the slurry coat.
no.
300,000.
No.
That would have been a resurfacing with asphalt.
But what I'm saying is I put 2 and 2 together that Danny from Fort Dodge Asphalt said that they slurried it 12 to 15 years ago. 6 years ago, they had to spend $300,000 on it, so they didn't get a lot of life out of the slurry.
No, it's a temporary fix. It's a Band-Aid. I mean, it's going to seal up your cracks and stuff. You got to have traffic to get it beat in. It's where they come in and they spread the oil and then they drop that loose rock in it. You'll hate it for the first few months, but it does get packed in.
Well, they say the slurry has no rocks.
Oh, they're just going to do The oil seal,
It must be, they say that Grand Junction
Glad
did
I
it,
got a
say
weak
Haynes.
car.
sand, there's probably sand they cover it with then.
Well, what did he didn't call it sand, but
Yeah.
You can call it.
Microsurface.
Yeah, you call it a leveling course, I don't think it does much of that, it's not gonna improve your ride hardly at all. If there's a company out there, it will seal up the cracks.
so then we're still not really comparing apples to apples. Blacktop Service is really the only one that does this level and seal that we're talking about here. Now, the cost difference, square yard is $664, $665 of the level and seal from Blacktop. The slurry seal is $2 1/4.
But you're gonna get what you pay for.
Right.
Well, now, is this slurry seal doesn't have, that's not the pea gravel thing?
It sounds to me kind of like it's just a seal coat.
That's,
Well, what did we
with the
do?
pea gravel is a seal coat. That's what we call it. They spread the oil and then they drop the rocks on it.
And they're saying that this doesn't have any rocks.
Maybe their terminology
It
is
says
different.
big advantage of slurry is no rock.
They might use a sand mix then, a really refined sand. You gotta cover it with something. You're gonna have the phone ringing off
Yeah,
the hook
seems
with
like
people
you-
who have black all over their cars.
Well, some of these roads you cover with just sand, they don't put pea gravel, on it.
Yeah.
You know, they put a,
What did we do? We
Pea gravel.
We always did pea
You
gravel.
did the pea gravel, which is a seal coat, a chip seal. Sometimes they call it a chip seal.
And the difference between that and this Blacktop Service, the way I understand it, is this guy uses granite rocks. And they last for longer than pea gravel. I don't know how long, but... And you know, I talked to Jared about that too, because they had some of that done in Ida Grove, and he's pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you brought that up,
Same
didn't you?
feedback.
Right.
It'll seal up your
these
cracks.
bottom coats are what? We're tearing up the blacktop and redoing it, or what? Or just putting, the bottom coats? Is that cement?
Yeah. No. That's milling it out
Okay.
and
And re-put them, put it back down?
Resurfacing.
Yep.
Resurfacing.
Resurfacing with asphalt,
Yeah, we got some quotes for doing that too.
Okay,
that'd be a lot more than,
yeah,
Right, it's
5
about four
square yard.
times
Yeah.
as much. Yeah.
I do think though,
probably last 4 times.
Could be.
it will.
I didn't pay much,
And if you redo it,
The bank on up to,
if you wanna spend $100,000
the highway
for
there,
block.
we need to grind that out and that needs to be new, because we've only got that much curb left.
I noticed that today when you told me that. When I went home, it's...
You put another half inch on that, you put another half inch on, pretty soon you're gonna have a curb at all.
Yeah, you're
Where
gonna
is this?
From the bank up to highway.
be M64
Oh, up to.
or Center Street or whatever.
There's a lot of
Well,
streets
from,
that way.
yeah, from Main Street, really.
Well, that's the problem we run into, we just keep doing, we just keep
Top.
going to town.
If we grind
And
it
you
out,
eventually
so
get a huge
do we
crowd
want
on your road.
to replace that storm sewer?
Well, if we grind it down like it should be ground down, that storm sewer would probably be just fine.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I suppose you want to grind it down
okay,
and put another
was there,
porch lift on it.
was there a problem though from Center Street, from the highway? It wasn't taking the water away or something?
Well, there's a lot of water that sits down in there, yes.
A lot of little puddles,
That's
right?
It just probably needs to be
That's what I meant,
ground.
if we're gonna tear it down, if we're gonna cut it out, maybe we should be looking at.
You know, that's one of your, other than First Street, it's one of your next most used streets in town probably.
Yeah. And we get a lot of truck traffic on it.
Yeah, you do.
They run up that and around and go to Rod's,
Yeah.
come back the other way.
Because we was thinking, thinking that was some of the problem with the water up in your area, that it wasn't getting away because of getting through there?
Yeah, it's just too old. It's because all the people that are building up on the north end of town are filling it up.
But that's 36
Higher
inch
than that, so it
tile.
still keeps running down.
Well, that's bigger than-
Now
Right
we're
by
gonna
the
discuss
bank, that's
putting more houses up there.
underneath there, that's bigger than 36.
Oh, that's
inch.
big, that's a big hole there, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Why
I was
would the
thinking,
water
about from the,
there?
like the old standard
Street
station up
itself.
there from Center Street, I was thinking there was a problem there with the storm sewer line coming down.
Not that I'm aware of.
If we get an inch and a half of rain in an hour, then it plugs up in front of my house and runs between Ryder's and my house across my backyard.
But I was thinking
Oh,
that
you're
was,
up there.
yeah, I was thinking that was the bottleneck, though, that wasn't big enough or whatever
Oh,
to.
you're not talking from Main to Center Street.
You're
No,
talking,
You're talking from,
From Center Street down to the
Toward-
bank down there.
yeah, that's what I was talking
There's a lot
about.
of water that will stand down in that bottom. Yeah, it just, I mean, it doesn't stand
There's no,
forever,
there's
but
no crown there.
Yeah, 'cause there's
a lot
no
of
crown.
water that just
Yeah.
hangs around down there. And in the wintertime, then it just
Well, I'm at
freezes,
the storm
thaws,
sewer
freezes,
stuff.
thaws, really.
How big,
about
how
saves
big
out.
a sewer is that, how big a line is that, or how big a,
we're underneath there?
Yeah.
Like huge, you know, like 6 feet or something?
well, okay, by the
Oh, yeah,
bank,
that's
that's,
huge.
that's,
Bank?
well, the bank, that's a great big one, but I meant coming from the east down there.
East down there. Oh, from where that old.
See, it might run along, I don't
station-
know, yeah, I don't know where it all runs through, if that runs
I
down the
don't
street.
know if that's
or-
the problem though. I mean, it's just sitting on the street.
Well, that might be the problem. If it's too small, why it doesn't drain from the north?
Yeah.
Oh, from-
Because, yeah, that whole thing
If-
from
if-
behind
if-
your house
Yeah,
never has drained right.
That's what I was wondering if we
So you
want.
say we just dig that tile and put a bigger one? This would be time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we got tore up, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, if you got it ground up, you just will tear it up now.
Wonder where that runs. Does that run up the middle of the street or is that?
I don't know where it runs.
I bet that probably runs about an angle, because it goes underneath Carmen Reinhardt's house. We don't know
Yeah,
for a
but
fact.
where's it come down though?
I don't know, that's what.
Didn't they have trouble with that right by Jan Barrett's alley, right at
Yeah.
the south end of your alley, Rob? Last year, didn't they have to dig that up?
Storm sewer job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they chewed up out in your backyard or around.
So they dug it up and said they fixed it. Then we go back to the same old stuff. It just doesn't take it away from there.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem. It just doesn't take it away.
Yeah.
I can help with that.
Well, that's what I was wondering, if we was gonna tear that up, that'd be a good time to put a bigger
Yeah,
line
it'd
in
be a
there
good
to
time
get,
to look at it.
Storm sewer,
you know,
what size is it now?
I don't know.
You don't know.
No.
Probably 8 inch.
But you could
Obviously, it's
probably
not big
Oh,
enough.
just a
probably
small
walk in there
one.
down
It might
all
not
the
be
way to
big
the
enough.
bank.
I don't think it's very big.
See,
Probably
you're
need to
talking
be-
about that 36-inch one. Get
Well, that
something
one
around that's
goes-
gonna be 80
That one's a floor.
No, that one.
Well, I think,
goes up to the new
I think you can walk all the way to
They
the
bring that
bank.
water
can't
down
you?
fast.
You can. I've never
They don't
done
say-
that.
I never
Where
heard
this
that
old
part.
system that's 100 years old just fills up.
Right. You have a big pipe dumping into a 15 or whatever.
Yeah, I think.
I think that one, you can walk all the way to the bank and come.
I guess that'd probably be a good thing, that would be something that Ken could do, is scope that and tell us what size that son of a bitch is.
You should.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're not talking about the one that's abandoned behind my house.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, we're still up on we're east of.
On the bank, you're, okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're in the bad side of town, are we, Rob?
We gotta talk about this that down there.
Alley and tape it all the way
Yeah,
down to the.
find out what size it is.
On the other side of the
Because
tracks.
obviously,
yeah.
there's somewhere in there, either it's got a blockage or it's got,
Yeah.
you know,
Probably got
And if we're gonna be.
See, what baffles me is Rick tells me that it hooks on to the
one.
one that Jan has right there in front of
I
her
agree.
house.
This-
But I don't believe that.
now,
He
I
says he
think-
colors it and he can see it down there, but yet it plugs up in mine. I would think the water would be coming up out of Jan's and it doesn't.
So that it's obviously, a little short area there
Yeah.
where it's plugged. That'd be a nice, easier fix. Get a good,
Kenny, I'll be able to scope that out and run his little camera down there and
yep.
figure out what's in there.
He was just in here today. I'll call him and have him do that.
Okay, but that, the bank on the east, that's.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we're
This
just,
is remilled.
So anyway, as far as streets and, you know, if we're gonna get anything done, we gotta make a decision sometime here, don't we?
Yep, PEDQ.
Well, we don't have enough money, I don't think, to do all this anyway.
No, and I don't know that we need to do all that right away. I mean,
Well, this one isn't that much.
No, we could do
I
some
don't
of
know
the,
about the front of the bank. That would be from,
that's gonna have to be something that we're going to have to really study and do next year.
and you know that's the 2, 5, and 7 combined. It goes
That's from Main Street to Center Street, right?
right.
Yeah.
well. 7 is
No.
number
5 and 7.
5 is from like halfway Richard Ulrich's right here to Main Street.
That's 4, isn't it?
No,
No,
Forest West.
7 is First Street to Third Street.
Yeah, that's like
That's
the.
right.
Oh, yeah,
Main
okay.
Street.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Main Street.
Yeah, that's
Right.
all of Main
Okay,
Street.
that's Main Street.
Second Street from Main to Highway 36 would
Number
be
4 is
in front of the grocery
Richard
store and
Ulrich's,
bank.
Number 5 would be in front of the grocery store and the bank.
Main and West
Yeah.
have a block, that's
No,
number
on-
4.
on Main, we
Number-
definitely need
Number
to-
4 is Richard Ulrich.
If we don't do anything there, we need to seal.
I got it written right here.
Seal the cracks out.
Yeah, I've got a really big hole in front of the store.
Yeah.
Well, you would
Since
want to
they
do,
washed the streets the other night, they really washed that
They
out.
washed it.
so you're saying number 5 is a priority? That's
I don't think
from-
we can get that done this year. If we're doing what we're talking about.
Number 5 is one I think that we need to
Need to
grind
do a
down
real
on.
good study
We need to
on-
grind that one down.
If we're gonna take that out, let's see if we got a line running,
Sewer, or
sewer running under it.
issue. Yeah.
But we could
no
do-
sense doing
we could
it,
do one-
doing it.
1, 3, and 4 though, could be.
Yeah.
Which way?
Well, why do number 4? Because 4 and 5 are the same.
4, yeah, 4 is just a
street.
half a block
Yeah.
more up from 5, yeah.
I'd
We
say
could at least do
4
one
and
and
5
three.
at the
1 and
same
3.
time.
That way we wouldn't even, that's less than $25,000.
Yeah.
One, three.
Haven't done much, have we?
13.
Well, how about we just do Main Street first and second?
What did we find out about around the hotel corner?
Just remember something about.
Yeah, that's a good question, Ray.
Well, that's where we got that 2-inch line, whatever it is, it goes to
Brody.
Grody's.
That's not on here, is it?
What
No,
was this?
On number 3, that's the one that goes up. Is it 2-inch line or smaller?
2. That's the one that they're having problems with. Because he don't have no pressure.
There again, where's the water line running? Alongside the street, probably.
Do you know
Yeah.
where the water line runs on?
Darrell Putt off to Leo Grody.
West past Darrell Putoffs.
Yeah.
It's a little 2-inch line there.
Yeah, where's the,
Merrill Pile, Merrill Grody's, I think that's running north and south on that street up there by Steve Tro's. Then there's another main that comes down in front of Darrell Potoff to that fire hydrant by Darrell
there's a
Potoff.
fire hydrant.
Is that
Hey,
under-
you got your MSA diagram?
you got your book in here from MSA?
No. I don't have it with me
Over here,
either.
Franny does.
Mine, I saw it, I didn't have
Because
it.
that's where he showed it was 2-inch.
Yeah, we found that out last time.
Then there's another main that runs up in front of Mini Rad Rock going north and south. Then it tees off there.
Future improvements.
Oh, well, you guys are looking at that. I talked to the
Some of the others.
county engineer, and he said that the county has no responsibility in the city of Wall Lake.
They used to.
Oh, you did, yeah.
That used to be a state road.
36 used to be a straight. yeah.
D-59's always been a county road.
That's county road, they plow all the way out
Well,
there.
no, but they did the issue with the snowplow now. They won't come into town with their snowplows anymore.
That's the case in most counties. The counties don't go into towns.
D-59 runs right straight down here to the stop sign and then goes south and then turns and goes to
If that's the
Carnival.
case, we're gonna
But it's in the
annex
city
into
limit,
Carroll
they won't.
County. Hell with that.
Yeah, then we won't be able to, oh, that's Crawford, we won't be able to get ranked right.
Wait a minute. That's Crawford. No, they did away with that.
Didn't they?
Yeah, they finally.
Oh, Crawford did?
Yeah, you can have organized bike right in Crawford.
Right, yeah.
So,
But really, we'd have to have
Well, right
half the
here- right here's
town in
what I'm
Crawford
talking
and
about.
half the county in Carroll, because the line comes out the middle.
that's right.
We're on the wrong side of the tracks again, Rob.
Another 2-inch.
Why won't they take care of the M64 when we took that over?
Wait a minute.
Well, they did,
We gotta go over here, yeah.
they backed up on this over the last 5 years, I suppose, 10 years. Now they stop at the city.
They might do a project with you, but usually you have to pay for the city portion.
It didn't used to be, they would pay the
They would-
22 feet
Would
down
they
the
really?
middle.
They always used
pay
to
at the
come,
edge.
Now, the state will, the DOT will take care of all of their roads.
Sac County used to come into town, they would come down the street here, and then they would turn, and they would stop right here at Warren Bush's. That's what they would snow removal, all of that.
They would.
Yeah, right out in front of the city shed there.
They would always stop right at Warren Bush's because that's where Highway 36 supposedly ended.
Well, that was state.
That was state though, that
That
wasn't
was
Now,
county.
that was a state road. Then Highway
But-
36 took on, didn't it?
No, Highway 36 coming in from the north.
Yeah, you'll have the DOT, they will still plow that, or is it not DOT anymore?
No, it's not state road
It's not,
anymore.
yeah, county.
It's county
Now you're
road.
on your own.
That's a county road, but I thought the county always come in and did that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
They
no
might,
fire
but
hydrants
they're,
here.
I mean, they still
If you
might
ask them
do it,
nicely, they
but they
might, but I
don't
doubt.
have to, probably.
The only road he ever talks about the county having anything to do with is the one that goes by the cemetery.
And that's probably because they have to drive on it to get to their next road.
Well, they kinda gotta drive through town to get.
They
to the
gotta
next
drive through
road.
town.
Where?
Yeah.
Southeast, northwest, you gotta come through town.
That's been my experience with them, is they won't go into town.
I thought Charlie Rigel always cleaned that M64 when he went south of town. He always did that. I know he
Well, I
does.
thought they had the blade down coming through here, or coming down
You do Main Street if you
First Street.
get here in time.
What,
Well,
really?
if you know the guy running the plow, ask him, don't ask the engineer.
Franny, do you know the guy running the plow?
But I know they got the plow down on First Street.
too.
Yeah, I think the
Shows it'd be a
issue,
4-inch.
they have to go through town to get.
Shows there'd be a 4-inch going up that way?
Just no way to get around town, but whether they have to put their blade down is probably another issue.
Yeah.
Well, who told us it was 2-inch last week?
2-inch goes, is on, that should be,
4th Street.
yeah. The 2-inch that goes east up, or west up 4th Street and also goes north down Stewart. Actually should be on the other side, 'cause this should be the pools. This is the ball diamond here, so this should be,
This is past the park.
this be in front of,
This is past the park.
Yeah. well, no, it's just the Melrose.
The,
This is the
Last
park.
Street,
Stewart's
Melrose.
past the park, yeah.
I know where that one is.
see, this is
I can
4th
find
Street,
that.
so that's on
So that
the north side
would
of the
go
park.
up to Hatterman's, and this would go up to
Yeah,
Mary Schrader's.
yeah.
So Leo Grody's got 4-inch?
The 4-inch
Shows here.
Shows there, 4-inch. Dead ends.
Still a dead end?
Dead ends at the fire station by the ballpark, by the baseball field. That's not a line there, is it?
No, it's just the street.
Well, do we want to make a decision on these streets tonight? Which I think, like Rob said, we got to be doing something here pretty quick.
Well, either that or we do it, we schedule for the springtime still in this fiscal year.
If you cut them down, they might change their price if they're coming to town for only 2 blocks. You know, their unit price might go up.
And we coordinate it with our MSA project and CDBG grant.
He's laughing about it.
Trying to get some kind of reaction.
No, just took a slip of money while you were reaching.
I think we should do some streets.
Yeah, I think we should too. I would say that,
But you know, if you look at, I mean, how we talked about this, the only one that we could do would be Main Street that has nothing under it.
Well, what about,
That we would look at.
how long would it take us to make a decision on the Main Street? Of course,
We
if we're
should
gonna
know
replace
that.
a storm sewer, that could be a,
that could take a while.
That could be a major project, yeah.
Yeah. But if it's gonna, if
You were thinking
it
of
needed to be
Main
replaced,
South,
that'd be a time to do it rather than.
That's what you're thinking, Main from 1st to 3rd? What you were thinking, or you want to go east?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, if you go east, we need to look at the storm sewer coming in from way east before we do anything on that. But yeah, straight up Main Street from 1st to 3rd.
that's wide too.
Yeah.
That's 4,190.
And we know Main Street, the seal coat, or the stuff they put in the cracks is blowing out, so.
Yeah, it is. They got torn up pretty good this weekend.
It
Just
definitely needs to.
people walking on it.
So what are you looking at?
All of our,
Which one?
This one here, from
This one or this
With the
one?
cracks.
Seal coated?
the seal coating it.
Well, that'd be about, what is that, 15, 20, 30, 45,000?
40.
483, 45 it says.
That's to,
Well, that's
to mill it out.
Yeah, that's the grind.
I was adding the 28, 9, and the 4.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering.
1, 3, and 7. 4 and 5, I think you probably want to do together.
I would say the
Yeah.
same thing, yeah. 'Cause it's all right in
Make a
line.
decision on what we want to do with that storm sewer. And
well, the thing is though, if you run number 7, main from 1st to 3rd, then why wouldn't you do number 4 too?
yeah,
Well, let's
Well-
do this.
We're gonna
Let's
reach
run
two.
main from 1st to 2nd, and then we'll go 2nd to all the way down to the highway next year.
Yeah,
Oh, but
yeah,
what do you
you're gonna do main first, not
2nd to 3rd, then you have
4 and 5
Probably
together.
doesn't make sense. Plus, it's gonna be red, right?
If we do the level and seal, it will be yes. Well, I don't
It'll
know,
match
it's
the
red.
curb.
Pink.
I think it's gonna be gorgeous. I think it's gonna be great.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, for them to,
Stop and,
yeah,
Yeah.
4 and 7, if we do those two, that would be worth their time. That would be 2.5 to 3 blocks.
right.
We don't really have anything under there.
That'd be
We
a
wanna
block,
dig up. I don't
block
know.
of hangups, so it'll be.
Well, there's one,
no, it would be.
Well, 1st to 3rd is
It's 2 blocks.
all the way up to,
Aren't you on the store on Third Street?
I'm on
no,
2nd.
Detterman's.
I was gonna say Mark Detterman's.
That's in Mark's
Okay.
corner.
Okay. I know it's Third coming out on the,
Yeah, 3rd goes.
First
the
is
other
right
side
down
of the
here.
line.
going east is Third on the east of Main, east of,
So then you're
Center.
doing them all but 5. You're leaving 5 out.
No, you leave 4 out too.
Well, no, he's not leaving 4 out.
No, I'd like to do 4 and 7 and leave 1 and 3 out because we still got some water main issues that we need to talk about there. There's some water.
Oh, I thought you had that resolved. I thought-
Daryl's not here nothing tonight, huh?
No.
You know, we can kick him out.
Well, actually, of all the streets that I think are the worst, Daryl's is probably the worst.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, by the bank and up
So you
there
don't
around
know
the
if the
hotel.
water main runs under the street or
That
not?
old hotel corner has got to have something
That's
done.
gotta have something
That's
done.
got to have something done.
Going west from
That
Daryl's?
is $6,000 to mill that out and put that back in, the corner.
No, Daryl Otto.
Just the corner by the fire station.
Going west.
But that needs to be done.
That needs to be done.
That way-
Well, that's not on this list,
Yeah, I
so
know.
that's what I'm
I'd have to
saying.
check that out, because I can't
I don't know how much-
for sure say where it runs.
How much money was supposed
It's
to
running
be?
out in the street,
Probably part of it.
but I'm not sure, I think it's on the south side of the street,
$100
on Darrell.
105,000.
It's only $6.64 a square yard. You have to tear up a little street. It's not like-
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna show up on
Kinda
this
like
one,
Robert.
Ray.
Idea to do it in the spring on that Main Street,
That's a long sheet.
going by the bank. Do that one in the spring.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's
it's probably
what I
gonna take it that long to resolve the.
If we're gonna mill it out and everything, that's when we probably want to do something like that. It's gonna be a pretty big expense, especially if we do something with the storm sewer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Where we knock out a couple of these other ones.
yeah.
Well, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, it's
That
105,000,
storm
right?
sewer's
Yeah.
pretty deep.
This wasn't right.
Well, maybe we can get it fixed in the spring then by Rob's and get
Yeah, I
that
think
correct.
let's go that way and
Bring
go
that
up.
in.
I didn't
Where
get
it
any
gets up
transfer
here.
done.
I built myself a
Yeah,
park in the
well,
backyard. Sure I didn't have to use
That's
it.
the beginning of last year.
No.
Yeah, we definitely need to look into that, and I'd say
Should be.
we'll put, on that.
This is the beginning of last.
This
Why-
is
Decide
beginning of
what
last
our
year.
problem's at.
This is the
Okay.
end.
Why couldn't we do
Any input here?
Last year.
the
Well-
fireman corner
Yeah.
Yeah.
and pot off?
Yes, it's this.
And then Main, first to third.
We got some input over there.
Well, I
Let's hear
don't
what
know if you're
Well, some of
interested,
them
but we've
did, some
done
didn't.
street inventory reports for towns.
No, I didn't do
They
any.
take a month or two to do them, and then we check every single road you have in town, give it
That one's
a
wrong.
ranking from high to low, and then you guys, it kind of makes the decisions for you. We just did the city of Auburn last month.
Do we have a month or two?
Right, you would have to wait to do something probably till spring.
Electrical's right, you know.
I mean, what we do is we
Same fiscal year.
do an analysis of every single block in town and give you a
I
written
think we
report.
really need to do something.
Okay, this
Well, I
one.
think that's basically what these guys did. This guy rode around with Rick.
Right,
And he
yeah,
looked at streets.
Yep, they looked at
And he said,
streets.
these are what we need to do.
yep. But the only aspect they're looking at it is the
No,
seal coat.
That's not
They're
right.
gonna provide you.
Right, right.
No, it's not. It should be 570.
But Chris, you said the one up by the firemen's, that's not even in on here?
Oh, where's that one?
That's that corner up by the old.
That's on another,
That had another number on it, didn't it?
yeah, that's on another sheet that I didn't get copied. That's $6,200 about.
But that's grinding in it, right?
Yeah, grinding that out. And
That's grinding that one.
That guy suggested to not do anything other than that on the corner there. Grind it out and put it
Yeah,
back
so you're
there.
gonna do is, you're not gonna be able to cover that up like you need to have.
Okay, I did write the wrong one down. Should've been that one.
Yeah, I didn't get any of them
That'd
done.
bring us almost up to 60,000.
I think you guys are looking at it right. I mean, if you have infrastructure issues, I wouldn't mention that street right now. Like you're talking about a water project,
Yeah.
storm sewer issues, I would just get those figured out first, like you said. I don't know where the storm sewer issues are at, but I can work with Chris on that, just to look at them for him.
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to having you do what you want to do, your month or two project. But I think a couple of these little ones, I think we really should get done.
What's that cost?
For this town, probably $2,900. We did Auburn for $1,900, and you got quite a few more streets, so.
29, huh?
Pretty good, pretty reasonable.
Doesn't sound high enough, does it?
Shut up, Josh. Like I said, we just did Auburn for $1,900, so. We don't make money on them, we just get to kind of reimburse our time a little bit, so. But
But you
that,
looked at the streets, but the infrastructure, you know,
that would be a street survey, yeah.
street survey.
Yeah. But like, if you guys have a certain issue in mind, like if you were mentioning a storm sewer,
Waterfront.
I'll look at that with Chris for nothing. I mean, I'm up here often enough, we got projects in Lakeview and Ida Grove and Auburn, and
Yeah.
it doesn't take me much to come over here. I mean, I'm in Wall Lake all the time, my in-laws live here, so.
Well, we've got Kenny, and he's got a camera.
Oh, then?
Yeah.
He owes any more time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he just started his contract
I was gonna say, just started, we just renewed that.
lots of time.
But
Who's Kenny?
he
Well,
said
we need
something to me, though.
to,
Kenny
we need to use our,
sewer.
we need to use our time efficiently to make sure we're looking at the right stuff.
Right. He brought a map in today to have us look at servicing every 6 months, like yours and Mel's, and every
Yeah.
year. There's a couple up this way, and
12 acres,
yeah, I mean, it's something that you're gonna have to do yearly, and
a lot of grease comes down on
Well, let's
Main Street from First to Third.
get something done, otherwise we're gonna be here till the wee hours of the morning.
What do you say, Ray?
Main Street from First to Third.
it. Well, is our bid gonna go up, though, like you say, this is,
I would call them and ask, I mean, you can go ahead and authorize that, but it's probably not gonna be that price if they're only coming for 2 blocks.
Okay, but that's just, it's a seal coat of $1.95 per square yard, it says.
that doesn't have anything to do with leveling.
That's just
That's just seal
spread the oil
coat.
and spread the rock.
Spreading oil, and, yeah, you're not getting hardly anything out of that.
You're not getting up by the
That's,
fire
that's what
station
you,
then?
that's
Okay,
what you
level
don't
and
want.
seal. Okay, this is a half-inch shell.
It'll seal up your cracks, get you a few more years
Yeah.
out of the pavement.
You wanted to do more than that by putt-off, didn't you, Franny?
Well, no, I mean, I guess I have to really go up there and actually just look at that street again, but
The cracks are gonna come back through too in a matter of a
now,
couple
do they,
years.
if they're gonna put it on that inch,
Half-inch or inch.
then do they have to go through and skim it off a little bit, or
Not the way this guy sounds. He just goes on and puts
is it
a
half inch?
leveling layer of asphalt, and then he seal coats it with red granite.
But some of these already got 2-3 inches on some of the streets.
Well, I just
They need to
think
look
Main
at gutters.
Street's gonna-
Yeah, Main Street would be
If your
okay.
gutters
Gutters are full,
Main
that's,
Street, but
now you're,
going,
I don't know
going
about,
on the
east to- up
sidewalks.
to center would, that would be an issue.
yeah, that'd be an
Right,
issue there.
Right.
Big issue. You wouldn't have much of a curb block.
So you think 1 and 3 are out because of the water issue?
Shouldn't be a problem there.
Mm.
It's a curb, hopefully.
Yeah.
I would say 7, and I don't know, but the 4.
I'd like to do
Or if
7.
you- or if you wanted, if you're doing 5 down the line, if you want to do 4 with it. You know, 'cause it's just another half block.
True. But if you're doing 7, then you got 5 and 4 on each side of
Well,
it.
now, really, number 5, it goes
Yeah.
from Main, but what if we go 5 just down the hill,
Down to the alley.
down to the alley? Because the rest of it's a problem, right? But down to the alley would be okay.
No, you said there's a big problem in front of your store, didn't you, Rob?
Well, yeah, but
Chris.
that would
No,
fix
that's
it,
they
right?
say when they can do it.
Yeah, he could get here this fall, yeah.
Okay,
When
because
the
you
fire
need heat.
hosed out, they
To beat it
hosed out
in.
a big chunk.
Yeah.
Don't let them do it.
I mean, if you're gonna have red, it'd be better
You need
if
heat.
we went
The
from
traffic
first to
is what
third
beats it
and
in, and it's gotta be
then
hot.
right
Both sides of it.
Don't
Because,
put
if-
too much
yeah,
on.
because,
on both
because if you,
over
yeah, if you go,
past you.
So you'd actually be coming for 3 blocks total.
yeah,
2 going north and
Yeah,
south, and
yeah,
1 going
about
this way.
1,
Mhm.
yeah, 2.5. But you gotta remember, those are wide streets too. They're not like doing a residential street. And in the fire station.
and then we should do that corner up there, but.
Now, that gonna look weird to put in a patch of red rock up there?
No, that's a grinding,
No,
that was grinding,
Probably put asphalt in
Grinding.
there.
Oh,
that's a grind out and stuff.
Okay.
That'd be the best way to handle that one.
He suggested taking 10 inches out of that one, putting 10 inches back in.
That's not a bad idea just because it's.
A lot of truck traffic,
That'd be
a
about-
lot of truck traffic.
You know, you got a lot of
89,
pressure.
9,000
Turning,
of that one.
Well, you got your fire trucks, you got our trucks, you got all the trucks, the gravel trucks that go through there that take this highway all the time. I agree with Randy, that's a
he's an
lot of,
asphalt guy. If there's a lot of turning movements, I would actually recommend.
highly, lot of pressure on that, on
Because
that
if you
road.
notice in the parking lot where cars sit, how the asphalt gets holes,
Should've came in.
that'll happen from turning. Asphalt will shove. Of course, he's not gonna recommend concrete.
No,
But you're right.
Asphalt shoves from the heavy turning traffic.
That'd be 50, over 50, 52,000 bucks to do the fire station, Main Street 2 blocks and
half block.
then the 2 half blocks.
It doesn't go as far as it used to, does it? 50,000 in a hurry.
I'm gonna do that.
That'd be
Maybe I'll
9,
hire him to do this street
Survey?
assessment. Yeah. And then in spring, when we do that other half a block,
Well, we go all the way up to, we go all the way up to, Center Street.
Yeah.
From-
the store,
For the,
Mhm.
for the
From the-
hotel.
bottom of the street.
62.
all the way up
Yeah.
to,
6 to mine. Okay, so we got,
Yeah, this
46.
block, isn't it? Because we're getting to come through the bank here.
50-some thousand, John said.
I have about 52
Yeah,
to do.
well, 46 and 6 would be 52 with,
But
that's what he said for the,
Actually, what I did is
6,200
I doubled number 4
that's what I did too, you know,
and then added 7 in the fire station.
yeah.
Oh, no. 15,000.
I was gonna say,
That's my fault.
I thought that 6 sounded a little light.
15,000?
15,000 to mill out 10 inches and put 10 inches back in.
10
Just-
asphalt or?
Yeah,
How many square yards? Does it say how far?
70 feet by 30 feet.
You're milling out
210?
7 inches
2,100.
of asphalt?
70 by 30,
10 inches
2,100.
asphalt?
But I'm going to
10
square
inches.
yards, about
Oh, yeah.
220.
It says.
About 220 square yards, divide that by 9.
Wow.
Of course, those holes, they seem like they're 10 inches deep. Sometimes in winter time, they're.
How much? 15,000?
15,178.
It's like 60, 70 bucks a square yard.
You're taking another 10 grand, so you're looking at 62,000.
15, will I have 46 and 15 is 61?
I said 62.
And that
62?
isn't right.
Here, you want a pencil?
What's cement gonna be?
I think you can do it in cement for that. It's 30 by 70, you said?
Yeah. You wouldn't have to do 10 inches of concrete, would you?
No.
Where'd you want this?
No.
That'd be at least,
Oh, God, yes.
at least like
Oh, yeah, I got one of those
Six.
too.
You don't think 6 would do it, Franny?
5,000. You want plenty of structure underneath there.
You want that?
Yeah, 65 bucks a square yard. Do you have a local contractor that can do it in concrete?
Sure.
Jamie, does Jamie do,
Yeah.
would Jamie do it? Should we?
Not this year, you wouldn't.
Can it wait? I think you could get it done for 65 bucks in concrete. It wouldn't have to be 10 inch either.
Put them up here. Or lawn boots.
Well, that'd be 8.
What about Lair? Or lawn
All
boots,
right,
yeah,
hang on,
either one.
pencil back.
Thank you.
If you want a pencil, you can have this one. 'Cause this is the city one. They're not worth a shit. You can take that home with you.
Bring it.
I keep, it keeps, the eraser goes out and
Oh,
it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm still in agreement with Franny. I think there's a lot of pressure up on that corner up there.
Well, I mean, that's always been an issue there.
Yeah.
You know, all we're gonna do is put a Band-Aid on top unless we fix it right.
Yeah, I think we ought to fix it right.
I guess if there is a lot of heavy turning movements, I would recommend concrete for that.
Nothing but truck traffic.
And I'm trying to think, where are you at now?
It'd be,
Right by the fire
Go
station.
down.
South Missouri store.
Right by the fire station.
Across from Andy Williams' house there.
If you come from the north and you come around
Oh,
that
yeah.
corner of the west,
Head
you
the
get that.
blacktop out of town?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
70 by 30, but it's pretty good size.
All right, guys, I'm gonna make a motion.
Brick is good on concrete.
I think we should, whatever it is, level and seal coat. Number 4, number 7, and then part of number 5. I don't know about number 1. We haven't discussed number 1 at all.
Half a block on number 5 we're talking
No,
about.
yeah, half a block from,
From Main Street to
Steve Rose.
yeah. To the alley.
To the alley.
How about number 1? We haven't discussed number 1. Is that King's Rose?
First Avenue.
And I guess I look at number 1.
Is that,
There's enough, I mean, granted it might need some repairs, but there's enough traffic on there to,
no.
you know, I mean, it's something that we definitely need to look at, but there's
Yeah,
enough traffic.
well, that'd come in the street assessment we're
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Because maybe they'd say, hell, it do last another 10 years or something. All right,
That's not that much there.
all right. 4, 5, 7, and,
So you're gonna leave the fire station corner alone right now, John?
well, it sounds to me like we want cement.
Okay.
I'm kind of going Francis.
You wanna make that a separate motion?
Yeah.
Didn't you think cement?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be a lot better off putting cement there.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll go with cement.
So you want a second motion on that?
We got cement out the middle of them.
Because it's a
There's
different.
cement under there.
Because here, this is the sealer and this is just oil and like pea grass.
This is the level and seal coat.
Yeah,
seal.
level.
Yeah, but this guy was gonna dig that.
We're
out.
doing 1, 2,
15,000. But
3.
the thing is, now, can we get a nice consistency across that then?
4.
Levelness,
From
from concrete to
the
asphalt.
pavement
But
to the concrete, you know, if we're
That's what
just
he's
gonna put a
asking.
70 by 30 chunk of concrete in there, then are we gonna have a bunch of holes all the way around that, but that concrete will be solid?
Shouldn't, not if they saw if your asphalt in good shape now,
No.
past that,
no,
then you'll probably, I mean, it'll continue to have.
I don't think it is, Franny, do you?
Well, there again, we can go, I mean, after that, if we have
We could
to,
mill it, don't we?
well, either mill it or we could
You could mill
seal
it, yeah, you could mill the asphalt down after you
Once
did
you
the
get past
concrete
that
and overlay
corner.
up to the concrete, you'd have a nice joint.
Okay.
But they'll saw it smooth, but if it's already broken apart, it's gonna continue to do that.
Which probably wouldn't hurt.
I've got a motion on the table right now from John.
I'll second it.
That's seconded. And that's,
Okay, I gotta know what part of number 5 you guys are talking about doing here.
Okay,
From Main to the alley.
Rich Ulrich to the alley at Rob's.
Just a half block that goes past the
It's
store
down
and
the
out of the
alley.
alley.
From alley to alley.
From alley to alley on 2nd Street.
Yeah.
where you turn to go down.
Next alley to the alley that's on the east side of the store.
Yeah.
That way we'll be doing the 2 blocks of Main Street and a half block either way.
Or the alley,
One second.
or the alley.
Because we're gonna
Where the
do that
stage
anyway.
was setting,
Yep.
yeah, but down at
Okay.
the stage.
So you got that?
The alley to the beer
You got that,
garden.
Chris?
Yeah, the alley to the beer garden.
And then number 7, all in number 7. And what was the other one, John? Number 1?
No,
Number 3.
4, just 4, 5, and 7, but 5 is only part of it.
Right.
It's a small
Okay.
piece of that.
So we're leaving 1 and 3 out, right?
1 and 3 are out.
Okay. I've got a motion for 4, 5, and 7, but only part of number,
Actually, what it is
yeah, we all know what it is.
2
So,
blocks of Main Street.
right.
One block of
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right, we've got that done. And now, do we want a motion to have this gentleman come in and give us a street assessment?
I'll make a motion, we have Snyder Associates come in and give us a street assessment.
Second.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to have Snyder come in and give us a street assessment for a cost of $2,900. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried.
And what,
He
Dave,
might
was
have
your
done it
last
cheaper.
name?
Stern.
S-T-U-R-M?
Yep.
You might have done it cheaper.
Candwell's son-in-law.
He's one of those Auburn Wildcats.
What?
Candwell's son-in-law.
We approved this?
Stern.
Stern from Auburn. The big red barn just north of the country store in Sparky's.
Okay,
The only red
The
barn?
only big red barn.
okay.
Where are we gonna do that?
You gonna get together with Chris and decide on when you wanna do a street assessment?
We'll get her done this fall, for sure.
Are
Okay?
you talking like across the section or something?
No,
Half mile.
Half mile north of it.
Half mile north of the
I
Sparky's.
think we need to get some bids on doing that corner
I
by
thought
the
you
fire
were in
station.
town somewhere.
What's that?
I thought you were in town.
You want me to do that too?
No.
Brad?
Yeah. And
The biggest barn.
Yeah, I
We
know.
know what it's gonna cost us in asphalt. Let's see if we can get some concrete bids.
Make sure you do the 70 by 30, get it the same.
Yeah, figure out that.
Yeah.
Whether you go
Okay.
bigger or not, that'll be good.
Clerk's report.
Okay. You guys, actually, let's start on the first page there. If you look at the bond interest savings account, 125,640, the savings wind turbine account, and the bond payment fund, one at the top, one in the middle, and one at the bottom. Those three all were reconciled. They're all reconciled to the bank. Then
Which is the third one?
What's the
Bond
bottom?
payment fund at the
bond
bottom.
payment fund, 148,000.
48066.
What was the one in the middle?
Savings wind turbine,
Wind turbine.
96.
And then the number 2, bond interest
Bonds,
savings.
Yeah. Those all reconciled. If you look at Westside State Bank, that is the new account that we made for the pool renovation. That doesn't have the $16,000 that we got in from
That's what I was gonna ask.
Gil Renzi, and it doesn't have the $2,500 that we got in from Monsanto.
What about the park? Wasn't there some park money in, we put in the West Side Bank?
I didn't.
I thought that there was some money carried over or something like that, 10,000 or something like that, that we put in the West Side.
Well, the
Bank.
park renovation fund, it says down here.
We had $10,000 of the Wilma Gosh grant that we got in April that we're
I
going
was
to use for
thinking, I
the
was
pool.
thinking that, Darren or something asked that we keep it separate, just we don't.
Well, there's a park renovation fund of,
1,500.
That is.
That's at
I think
Bank Midwest.
yeah. Well, it says Wall Lake. Okay, no, I guess you're right, it doesn't say where it's at, okay.
I don't know why, I thought that was in West Side, and I thought there was a little more than that or whatever, but maybe not.
Well, there could always be an account not on here. I remember years ago we had one that Cook. One that Cook.
Wanda, yeah.
She had.
Okay.
Whatever fund she is.
Progressing on, Chris?
Okay, yeah, so you keep going on, turn to page 3, and let me first apologize for the clerk's report because it is not in any kind of order. We had a guy in here today that wasn't supposed to be here till tomorrow, and our computer system got messed up. I couldn't get on our accounting system, and so Tony and I scrambled to put this together. Anyway, so I just went through some of these funds, and I looked at this one, the principal. That's Corn Belt Power. Looks to me like they budgeted pretty good for that.
Where are you at now? What are you on?
Third page.
Page 3,
About the middle.
debt service fund.
Okay.
I got notes right there, you can see them. So turn 2 more pages on garbage, landfill, utility fund. You can see the notes that I took there. Ken's sewer service, I have to move that over to sewer. Right one, there you go.
Now, I got a report from the sanitary landfill too, and I should have brought it down, but it doesn't say that there's any. Don't we weigh our truck every time we go up there, Chris?
That's where we're at right here.
Well, it says on there that there was no reports from any other city other than Odebolt and Shaler. So I'm gonna have to jump them. We'll get a meeting tomorrow night up there.
I would assume we would weigh it.
We should
I don't
have.
know how else we would
You get a
get
tipping
charged.
fee, so that's what it is.
Well,
Yeah,
we should have all the tons that we deposited up there and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to ask them what's going on up there.
We probably have that here. But anyway, what Steve's talking about there, quarterly fees, that's part of,
Our tipping fee.
well, yeah, not really, I guess, but
Per capita, probably.
yeah, that's
Is the-
per capita, yeah. We pay that, obviously quarterly. That goes into contractual services. Ken's sewer's not even gonna be in there. And the reason why I guess the reason why I looked at some of these is because I looked at the budget, and then I looked at the actual, and it's all way off. So I ran a report to look and see what it was. So that's just some transfers that I got to do. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And then, like if you turn the page, natural gas fund, there was nothing in there that really shocked me, so I didn't.
But then on the beginning, fund balance is not right though either.
No,
There's been no transfers done,
not
right?
Well, we have to close out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's last year's beginning. Now we got a new beginning.
Yeah, we discussed that last meeting.
Yeah, it's not right.
Yeah, that's all wrong too.
He talked to me this morning about it. I just didn't get over here in time to get it done.
So then go back to the general fund, page 4. I guess I don't even know.
It says page 2.
It says page 4 at the top. Huh?
Prince report, look at that.
Yeah. I gotta write notes, Ray, otherwise I forget. So it looks to me like, next year, as I get going in this, it looks to me like I really got to pay some attention to the budget, because obviously you can see there that we budgeted $545 and we're already at $2,700.
Well, no, these budgets probably haven't been updated for our new budget.
That could be too.
These are probably last year's budgets.
Well,
Because our new budget was started in July. We're we're gonna have this same problem, because we put that pool fund money in last year as revenue, and then we're gonna be paying it out as renovation this year. So, constantly be battling with it being pool.
That's probably true. Then the only other thing that really stood out to me was Chris Grody's, and that just got put in a different account. So I've got to do some transferring of expenditures, which I planned on doing today, and I didn't get to it. So I guess what I would ask you guys to do is
Bear with you.
yeah. First of all, bear with me, but then next meeting I'll bring August and September.
No, if you have any questions or you want to help Chris out or something, then go ahead and call him during the day or something if you can, and say, Chris, this didn't look right. If you take it home and you study it tonight or something, or study it in a week's.
Yeah, don't hesitate to call.
I did notice that those beginning balances weren't right.
Okay, everybody happy with Chris' report? Any more questions for Chris?
Yeah, I don't want a motion on it. We just
No, you're not going to get a motion. New business, building permits. Looks like a Geneva Scotch.
it's just a
That's the new Becker house. isn't it?
yeah, just a fence coming off the deck. Chris Grody approved it.
Chuck Clapper?
Auburn,
He's from Lakeview.
I know.
or Auburn, we,
Went to school with him.
I'll make a motion to approve that building permit.
Second?
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the building permit for Geneva Gotch. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Passed.
I'll also make a motion that we approve the community center license.
Second?
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to accept the community center liquor license. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Done. Schroeder Addition plating.
Are both these from Sandquist?
No, well,
No,
no, first one's not.
is it not?
Snyder and Associates.
Okay, all right. I was looking to see. There it is, okay, I see it. Yeah, that's good.
Just doesn't say the outside.
What, now you get one for Sunquist? This last sheet, is this one you made up?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Perfect.
Here, guys.
The Sunquist one,
Here's some-
the old
Well,
original.
Here's some better.
One like
Here's
this.
some better looking pictures
Yeah,
too.
here's some colored ones. I brought a couple extra.
Did you bring some?
Yep.
The Sunquist had was the old,
Steve, look at.
the old one.
See the difference.
There's that big drainage ditch that we got to
Look
deal with.
at, look at number 10. That's the only real difference between the two.
Oh, I see.
What
This
you're
is
looking at,
squared
Ron,
off.
and what you're looking at, John.
Depending on how you can build
Lot-
by that
lot
ditch,
10
you know,
right
until
there.
we get a.
See, one of them's squared and the other one's not.
If you look at,
No,
9 gives you a little better frontage.
Or 10, isn't it?
10 gives
Correct
you
on through there?
10 gives you a.
well, I don't
Pretty
think
big
you
trick.
could sell 10 anyway.
That's the
I don't
whole
think
issue is we don't have any survey information on this, so I was, if you can build on the backside of 10.
You can build on. You
Yeah, I didn't know if that was up high
You
enough
can
or
make
not.
9 square, and you can, and when you drive out here, you can.
You could build back there?
You could build there.
Okay, that's what I didn't know, so.
In fact, it kind of comes out and drops right on like that.
one better.
No, this should be straight,
Right here,
Which is this one?
and this one will be straight. You can get a 9/10 there.
like that.
Yeah, only 10, I'd cut it off. I would cut it off with 1. Make 1 and 10 line up.
Same thing.
Yeah, and if you drive out,
I wouldn't buy 10. That's a lot of water.
Well, yeah, but if you look
get
at
it
the
like-
landscape, you could,
Wouldn't want a basement.
You
Walk
can't
out
beat
these-
with
Does it
it.
flow when it's, does it constantly flow through there or just when it's wet?
No, when
Comes
it's
up.
We get a
heavy rain.
It comes across the highway.
this is not.
Yeah, I know it drains from the east side of the highway even, you know.
Then you tear
I've
it
driven
down
out
there.
there, and then you cut up here, and this is pretty high.
But those could be
right
platted a different way too. I mean, we have
Maybe
104
it
foot
comes
lots.
down
Maybe you guys
right
want
there.
190,
here.
you want
But you
191.
could,
No, I wanna keep it fairly big, that's what I like them, that.
Yeah, that's 104 wide, that's
But you might
like a
have to
decent
put a
sized
little,
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 10, you just shape it.
But you could put a little,
Grading
like
work is
a
all.
thing there, and I think you'd wanna bring that storm into that, look at that, you know, still water out of there.
Need more water.
You could use part of 10 as a community detention pond too.
That water already comes down anyways.
No, not in your house,
So we're
it
still
doesn't
dealing.
go this way.
Heat goes down though and fills the whole fucking system and then the river from mine, this is
But-
higher than me.
But yours should hit that huge tile from your house. It should hit that by the bank where
Yeah, I've been doing
it's like
this for
6
15
feet
years.
tall
that might
or
look-
something.
Better.
Someday, you and I should walk up that, because I've always heard about all these
How do
people
you
that
know-
walk
you know
up
what,
that
Ray?
tile.
Really?
And I never-
So I crawled in there at,
Yeah.
Richard
This
Ballmore.
didn't go in.
You can call them the streets, there's a great big cavity underneath the street there.
Stupid to block that street off.
Unbelievable.
It needs to go straight through.
You know, Richard Ballmore, up that alley,
Yeah, it's like this.
it'd be
Yeah,
4.
but knock that down to be hell. And,
That goes by
These
me.
guys are driving on the
Yeah.
grounds now.
It'd be north of your house.
Bruce Payson said he has walked that all the way to the lumberyard.
Coming
Yeah.
off the highway, they're gonna be
Your
going
house?
80 mile an hour.
Yep,
when they
I
get to
mean,
here.
it's a big,
Yeah, it's like,
yeah, monstrous,
and
yeah.
that's where
Yeah,
your
if
stuff
they're
is.
doing
If it went all the
Because
way
they
through.
do that
This
now down
one
there.
wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
plug yours up.
All of those streets, the one south
Well,
of here,
yeah,
too.
but-
Your street, they right by there, 100 mile.
Yes.
No, Bruce Payson said he swore up and down, he's walked that from my house.
Yeah.
In fact, he's went farther, I don't know if I think he's went farther
Could have.
north, and he's walked it all the way to the lumberyard.
That's a big
I
cavity.
walked to the lumberyard. I haven't walked it past the lumberyard. You don't put that.
He goes up behind my house.
I haven't walked that far. But I have walked up as far as the lumberyard. I know someone who walked up the rollers. It gets dark in there after a while.
No.
You don't have to bend over or anything. You walk right down.
Do you have any utilities drawn in on your maps?
No, we don't have the sanitary water laid out. I don't actually even know where they hook onto. I have it on the cost estimate though.
All right.
It was under the assumption that water and sanitary are to the end of that street, yeah, to there.
Wrong.
They're not that far.
Well, one actually runs up this way, and one runs right here, this way. In
Yeah,
fact,
it's-
if you look at the end of the knoll, right there is a manhole.
Oh, so sewer would be
But
less.
that one doesn't, but that one leaks like a sieve, so you have to put in a different one there. And it runs right down
I didn't
here.
know any of that, no.
So you really want to come across here with
Right.
sewer and hook on here and bring this one into that line.
Get rid of that leaking one.
It's like a farm tile.
And that's something we would definitely look into, is your existing system that we're tying
Is
into.
that where our water's coming from?
Oh, yeah. It's that whole, I don't know how long. Yeah, that.
What does it serve back the houses up on the highway?
It serves Noel, yeah, along the highway, Noel Cooks. No, all the way up to the water tower, all the way up north
Okay.
to, past that big building, past the water tower. It comes down there.
City shed.
But that one doesn't have any water in it, really. It accumulates all the water down there in that.
Down at the
Bottom
bottom,
end.
it's probably got cracks in it, and it probably is constantly collecting groundwater.
No, Daryl's not here, so we can talk about it tonight. When they put it in, they were in like 2 feet of water and
They laid the pipe for water. You said.
laid the pipe in.
Laid the pipe in water,
Yeah.
and it stayed there.
Well, no, that's the problem. It didn't stay there. Yeah. There's some
What is our natural gas, that runs up Center Street or Main?
I don't know where the hell that runs.
Yes. It goes in front of my house,
Okay.
because my hookup
I'm
is,
just wondering where it runs.
On here, it runs on the north side of 6th Street,
Okay, yeah.
but I don't know where it goes north from there.
So it's
Yeah,
really
well-
tied to it pretty easy then.
once you get past the, where's it at, past the pond? Past the,
I don't know, it runs on
It's on,
the north side of Fifth Street, I don't know about Sixth Street.
on your house, it's on the other side of the
Yeah,
street. No, I mean,
it's,
would it be Gary's and Russ's house? Does it go up that
Well, I think
backside?
There's I think it runs up the east side of Fairview Street. Okay.
Oh, your street on the east side?
Yep.
And where does it run up on
where
North Main?
does, like, the Twilight Acres duplexes?
Yeah, where's that run?
It should be.
Must run up that street somewhere. I don't know. No, where the street goes.
Unless it goes around, comes back in from the north, I don't know.
I know it's on the west side of my house. That I do know for a
Yeah.
fact.
$300,000, huh?
That looks a little better than Sunquist.
Yeah, that's 562.
Now, that sticks out a little bit further north. Did we buy that much land up there?
Remember, you got that
That
off
was
the-
just off of the GIS website, you know, we haven't done any survey, I don't know exactly where the boundary is. Off of Sac County, have you ever been on that Beacon website?
Yeah.
That's where the property came from. An estimate, yep.
Any questions for Mr. Stern while he's sitting here?
Well, that might be a problem. if it goes out a little-
What's the next step?
It sounds to me like you guys are looking at just platting it right now and maybe not doing the improvements yet.
Yeah.
The next step is we get our boundary and topographic survey and the property ownership research done, and then we do what's called a preliminary plat. That goes through planning and zoning commission, then through the council, and then we do a final plat through planning commission and council, then it would be officially platted and recorded at the courthouse.
Is that in here somewhere?
That's platting, it's on the cost estimate at the very bottom, $9,500 for platting.
Right. Look to the right a little bit, John. There you go.
Oh, down here.
Yeah.
Okay, then you stake out the lots and all that.
Then we stake the pins, yeah, that's part of that. On the very last page of our proposal from Snyder and Associates, I got the breakdown of what that includes,
So well, that's what reading so much staking and construction observation.
and that includes setting of lot pins.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted us to do the design and everything now, then you would just continue on down.
Staking. Yeah.
But if you just wanted to do the platting, that's all we would do for now, so.
Which is 9,500, correct?
Yes, correct. Is that too low again, John?
No, I don't, we've kind of thrown around where the street should go so many times now.
Right, and I'm willing to work up more concepts for you guys if that's not what you're after.
Well, I think that's the way we want the street.
Yeah, because no matter how we do it, then the cost goes up. So you got 10 lots.
Yep, you've got 10 lots, and
You got $300,000.
you got about the cheapest way to
bill.
get a street through there.
Yes.
But it's,
I mean, plus we got $50,000 on top of that to buy the land.
yeah,
What are we going to sell these lots for?
you're hoping to get tax base, I'm assuming.
Well, I don't think we'll get $36,000 a lot.
Right.
You don't think so?
We'll try it on the first one.
How long do we wait?
Don't hold your breath, put it that way.
Maybe we could do TIF, residential TIF,
Mhm.
recapture about
But that
a
takes
third
a
of
while.
that maybe.
Yeah, it takes a while. Is that involved in the LMI on residential?
Yes, it does. The answer is yes. God, it'd be nice to extend that other tip over there, wouldn't it? I just don't think that'd be more open to do.
Which one, the one from,
Yeah, the residential tip, because now it's finally giving us all this money
It's
and
paying you.
yeah.
now it's over.
Is there still debt against it?
No.
No, it's all paid off. So
Well, at the end of this fiscal year, it's all paid off.
service
And
is
it's
more
10
debt.
years, it worked out, 10 years. It's paid off.
Okay, it's built out pretty good up there, so
Yeah.
you don't think you could just extend it and service more debt against it? No?
I asked the attorney that, I didn't really get an answer. I mean, you can extend it 5 years, but
Extend that.
can you use it on the next
Can you
tip?
use it on the next one, yeah,
I don't
instead
know.
of letting the taxes go
Yeah.
to the county, and that is a question for your attorney.
I don't know that you really want to do that anyway. Because your intent is to build tax base for everybody,
Yeah,
not
that's
just for
that
yourself.
extra
Yeah.
right there.
What?
Photos? Yeah, that,
What about them?
is that's the only set you got right there.
Are we satisfied with this?
Yeah, that's all I brought with me. I can
Is
email
everybody
you,
in agreement
and you
there?
can print as many as you want, or I can mail you as many as you want.
I got all kinds of things printed, but they don't look as pretty as these do.
Yeah, I know, I like them. That's a little bigger and I can,
Well, why don't you, if we go forward, just tell me which layout you want, and I'll send you 10 and 15 of them up. Or if you want to change the layout, you know, maybe you guys want more
Marking
than
up the city, a little bit bigger, 20 from sale of land.
This one?
Third, so that'd be 12, you'd have to be $12,000 a lot.
Rest of the lots are all the same. This
Yeah,
one-
it's the one, this one.
John would like the squared off ones, not the.
Yeah.
That's the one Franny just said
Yeah,
too.
that's what he
Yeah.
said too.
Yeah. I really think you put a little berm upon the backside of 10 and
Yeah, that would be the intent, divert the water around it.
either
Build it.
that
So
or...
we do that when we do the dirt work.
Yeah, you wouldn't do anything now as far as plating, because
Roll it
that's
over,
just gonna cost you more.
run it over Noli and Gus's.
10 will probably be one of the last ones to sell, like you said.
Gus's backyard.
Well, I guess I'd make a motion that we go ahead and progress with this and get the plating taken care of,
From Snyder.
Snyder Associates.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to accept Snyder's bid for the plating services only with possible projection farther. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. All yours.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Did we approve your street thing too? Did we already do that?
Do what?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's got more work than he can do the rest of this month, so.
Keep him busy.
All right, guys, thank
Get a
you.
hold of me.
Thank you.
I'll be in
We'll have a lot ready for you,
Couple of
just,
days.
it's 36,000 for the lot and you can build your house on it, so.
Okay, we'll be back. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you, David, thank you.
Good choice for the lot.
The choice
Yeah.
for 36,000? Sure that's high enough.
Now you get 10.
Yeah,
Farmer gas hookup. Chris?
you have 9 and 10 for 36,000. Well, we've been talking about hooking these guys up to natural gas. Rob, did you not get the,
Yeah, I did. I don't know what I did with it.
oh, well, I'm telling you something, guys, I about fell off my chair when I got this email.
Quirks has to go a mile,
Did
correct?
we get it?
Well, it's a mile and a quarter, give or take, Franny, because we're going right up the road and then over to their dryer.
I
So it
guess my
was,
question is, do we have to go up the road? Why can't we go through the field?
well, we've talked about that a couple of times, and I guess the consensus that I've heard is that if you go through the field and there's an issue in the field, then you have to go through there, take out whatever crop is there, get down to where the issue is and fix it. Right now, when Quirks own it, I don't think it'd be a big deal. If Quirks ever sell it 100 years from now, it could be a big deal. Quartz asked me if they could run the line, if they could trench and run the line. And I talked to Gordon Huff, and he said, if we can't do the whole thing, we're not going to do any of it. Black Hills Energy. If they can't do hook up, they're not going to do any of it. And then
Well, at 55,000, I would say they're not gonna do any of it.
I mean,
I don't think there's a decision to make here.
I did some figuring on it, John. If we split the cost, 27 something with Quirks, that would take 92,000, 93,000 therms at 30 cents a therm to pay it off. Now, that would take at least 3 years if they did as much drying as they did 2 years ago every year. Now, they're not going to do any this year, the way I understand it.
They didn't do any last year either.
And they didn't do any last year, so I talked to Orland Steinkamp. Orland Steinkamp said that he was figuring $8,000 to $10,000 they would go ahead and do it. Well, you can see their bill, you know, that leaves us with $20,000 left.
Well, doesn't that Orland's go right past the road there, right?
Well, that's what just shocks the heck out of me is it's
half
a quarter mile down the road.
It's a quarter of a mile.
Not even.
It's 1,300 feet is basically what it is, Franny. I don't know if there's another company that does this.
I'm sure there is.
That we can get in here to do this. I mean,
Well, these are, price we put our whole system in for
yeah, these are ridiculous amounts of money.
750,000 in the whole damn town.
Now I talked to
And 11 miles of high pressure.
I talked to Gordon Huff today, and I asked him if he could send me the price that it cost to do Healy's. They hooked up Healy's, we dug it in, laid the pipe, and they hooked it up at the other end. So, you know, I don't know why we can't do that.
It wasn't that high price there, I know.
Now that's a hell of a lot shorter than Quirks, but Dan and Doug Steinkamp's isn't.
Well, it's
Isn't
about the same as Doug Steinkamp's, actually.
It'd probably be even more than Doug Steinkamp's, actually.
Yeah.
Dan Steinkamp's is a little further if you run down his lane and over.
Now, the Quirks have to be a 2-inch line from off that
Yeah.
floor?
Yeah.
Are all these going to be 2-inch lines? Is that what?
Well, I think probably all of them would be 2-inch lines because Quirks dryer requires a 2-inch line. Doug Steinkamp told me theirs doesn't require it, but if they ever need to update, then you want it there. I had another farmer from Lakeview ask me about hooking up gas too. And the reason they're doing this is because propane's so high, obviously. But now they're thinking they're not going to have to use any propane, so they're not quite as gung-ho as they were.
Well, if it's okay with you, I talked to Darrell Putoff before, and he told me, Steve, he says, before they make a decision, he said, I would like to have some input. So I would really like to table this right now so that Darrell's got some input on this, because he was very, very...
We won't get it done this fall anyway, won't we?
Well, you know,
Quirks really wanted to get it done, but they might have backed off. Last time I talked to Todd, he was wanting to speed things up.
yeah, they called me quite a few times a week there for a while, and then they'd quit.
So what's the downside of them putting in their own line?
Black Hills
I don't think
Energy.
there is a downside other than the fact that they're not Black Hills. And
They won't
I
do
guess
it.
they're probably looking at structure-wise.
No, but you talked
they
about
can't-
running through the field or something, there was some issue.
Well, it's just if they were sold the land and somebody else had the farm place, you have a gas line going through there, and which
Who owns the gas line, basically?
Okay.
So if there was out in the middle of the field, if there was a problem, you have to go through the crop to get there, dig it up, you know, whatever. So
But couldn't you go down the edge of the road, or not the road, but down the edge of the fence line?
Fence line or whatever.
Like rural water, they kind of follow the edge of the fence.
yeah, rural water's in the middle of the ditch there. So that's kind of part of the problem too. Where do you go?
Couldn't you dig it up on the top end of the ditch or something?
Yeah, that's where this would go, is right along the road.
if Quirks
On
does,
the
they're going to
road.
do.
How about
They're
on
going to
the
plow down
other
through their
side?
field.
Oh, on the other side of the ditch.
Most sense.
Yeah, on the field side of the ditch, you wouldn't have to go in a couple feet or something.
So this Gordon Huff wouldn't come down and do both ends of we laid the pipe?
Didn't really sound like it, no. It sounded to me like, well,
All or none.
Where's he from?
he's from Denison, Black Hills Energy out of Denison.
But he did do that for Healy.
Yeah, and that's what I don't
And
quite
actually, we got a
understand.
lot cheaper than what they talked about from Healy that time.
That's what I don't quite understand is why they won't do it here, but they did there.
We'll make a call to Bill Lindley, or some of the, see if he's got any connections, or people we can talk to, or somebody different.
Or Kenny from Manning.
Yeah,
What's his last name?
Spees?
Speed.
Yeah.
you know, get some,
Oh, Sac City had gas. Call it too.
they own that, or is that, yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, we're gonna table that for right now. Yes, sir.
Could you tell me the names of the farms that are proposed for hookup?
Quirk Farms, Dan Steinkamp, and Doug Steinkamp.
Election papers?
John? There's your election papers, Rob and Franny.
There's one way to present them to us.
Well, August 29th is the first day that these can be started, and September 22nd is the last day that they have to be in. So, the county auditor wanted me to let you guys know that. Now it's public, so there you go. That's all I had for election papers.
29th, huh?
Yeah, August 29th.
Okay. Copier.
Pool
party flyer and beer.
Beer.
Where's the
Oh,
beer at?
oh, I'm sorry. I guess John's supplying that after the meeting.
I don't know where. Oh, here. Rob's suggested that we have a fundraiser for the pool house. The community club has agreed to do that on the 14th. And the only reason I've got a copier on here is because we've been talking about whether we should have the ability to do color copying or printing in our office. And so I wanted you guys to see the difference between a black and white and a color. And John, you just got one of these color copiers.
Same thing that I got.
We just lease our copiers, don't crankers.
Yeah, what the deal is we lease it for 57 something, 95 or whatever a month. We could lease a color one for $80, $79 a month. And that comes with all your service, all your toner.
Oh, even the toner?
And the toner, yep.
Oh, really?
And then we get,
Plus your maintenance and
yeah, that's all in the service, yep. And then we would get 2,000 black and white copies free a month. And then they're a penny a piece on top of that. That's the same thing what we pay now. And then the color copies would be 7.5 cents a piece. Now, I have no idea how much we would use it. I honestly don't. Don't know that it's worth spending the extra $30 a month for. But we would also have a scanner if we ever needed to scan something and get it into our computer. And we would also have a fax machine.
Or you can email out of it.
And
That's
right.
the reason I bought it, because you just email right off your scanner.
We don't have a scanner, is what you're saying now, that's correct.
No, well, I have to go down to the library to scan anything if I need it.
I'll make a motion that Chris takes care of this problem.
second.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded for Chris to get us a color copier.
I like that idea.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All
Did you
opposed nay.
Did you second that?
Yeah, I did.
Public forum.
Okay, I got a couple things for the public forum, real fast. 510 Center Street got sold.
I see that.
They're gonna tear it down.
Who bought it?
They're gonna tear it down and get rid of it. Jeff King.
Good.
They wanted to know if they had any time frame to get it tore down. I said probably not. I mean, it's been there for quite a few years now. We're not gonna
They're the only ones complaining about
we're
it.
not gonna rush them on
A
it.
week or 10 days.
Yeah. And then we've got a report of a door-to-door solicitor in our area, and it sounds like this is kind of a bad deal. They come into your house, they solicit a chemical cleaner. If you buy it, they take your credit card or your checkbook, whatever, and they clean you out.
This is more than just one person, it's a group of people.
Just to get that in the public. If you guys hear anything about it,
It's in our area, but not in our town.
Yes.
not in our town yet.
We need to pass
we've
an
heard.
ordinance where they have to come get it.
Well, that's one thing that Chris and I talked about today, and that's why Lakeview's in a little bit of hot water as they are, because they signed a permit and they didn't really follow up on checking their insurance and a whole bunch of stuff. And I've got a thing in my truck I can go get you and let you read. This company is not a very sound or reputable company. It's not good. And I was at a couple's house in Lakeview Thursday night when they tried to get in. I mean, and the gentleman that I was at, he said, absolutely not, you're not coming in my house. And he told him to abruptly hit the highway, down the road track. I mean, but they did get into a person's house, and they were going to show them how well this cleaner worked. They put it on her brand spanking new sink, and it took the finish right off.
In Lakeview.
In Lakeview.
So it works.
Works damn good. But, you know, that's just information for you guys to know.
Well, Chris and I didn't want to know if, we want to get this out to the public so that because they're preying on the elderly, and we really don't want them in our town. Now, as far as I know right now, I've talked to Royce, I don't think they're in Lakeview anymore. I think they got chased out of Lakeview. So, do we just want to let a sleeping horse or sleeping dog lie for a while right now until we hear something, or?
I'm gonna
I
hang
think we
that
need to get
color
it out.
on. Put that in the window.
You bet.
That way we can look
Oh,
all strange
Can I,
or something.
can I copy it?
yeah, I don't think that's exactly what we want to send out, though,
Oh.
John. I don't think all the
Okay.
information is exactly right. Last thing I got, John Healy gave us a bid to clean out the trees down by the lagoons.
Okay,
Daryl asked to do that.
definitely.
Do you guys want to know what that is? I've got it here. Do we want to make it public?
Trees are pretty good.
Well, do we have to get a?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do we need to get another one, or can we just say what it is? And
Bids or?
Is it Lagooners at the dredge going, or storm sewer going out to the dredge? That's what it was for, isn't it?
no, you know where the lagoons are at, the trees that are
Oh,
around
okay, I
there,
see what you- okay.
and then there's some.
Just north of lagoons.
Yeah, just right north of the lagoons, all those trees that are growing up. They
Yeah,
want
but
to
is it on the
flatten that down.
west side too? North and west side?
There's some trees on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay. that's what I
Really, yeah.
thought.
My question is do we want to make the bid public right now and accept it or decline it, or do we want to get a couple more?
I think you should get some more.
Is it under 25,000?
Yes,
Oh, then we don't have to get more.
it's actually under 5,000.
Well, that's still too much.
No, it's actually under 3,000.
You keep getting them down there, huh?
Is it over two? Is it more than two?
Put it on the agenda for next week.
Okay.
Discuss it.
Will do.
One thing I had was, I was kind of wondering, Chris, if you're getting any schooling for your city clerk job yet, or been attending any seminars or any
I went
classes or
to
whatever?
the city clerk's school in July, the end of July.
Because you gotta have so many, classes you gotta go to or whatever to be certified or whatever.
Right. They have that once a year, and you get so many hours of class. And I was scheduled to go on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I couldn't go on Monday because John came in. and it was payday. Tony had never done a payday before, so right now I don't feel like I can leave here,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, I know that you
I
got
feel
it,
like I have to be here all the time.
but you also need the training.
Right.
I know that we attended some of those, I attended 2 Region 12 meetings down in Templeton, in the evenings, and they were very informational. 'Cause
I'm
you-
going to the Iowa League of City meetings in September. Chris has got me all lined up.
Yeah.
Those are very, very informational.
Yeah, that's
Very
what-
good meetings.
Yeah, that's why I say they're very informational and very good.
I went to,
I mean, you talk to different people, you learn a lot from somebody that's had a problem, something like that.
Yeah,
I know we went to the
Down in
one in
Ankeny?
Des Moines.
Templeton right before.
Last year was at Iowa
Is that
City.
their headquarters down there, or is it,
Zygmunt's.
What is their
But that's what we
headquarters at?
talked about there,
It's down in there somewhere by Des Moines.
south of Orlaver?
where you at?
Or Labor. Where is the Iowa League of City meetings at, or their headquarters?
They're down in Ankeny?
Yeah.
That's what John thought it was
Yeah.
too.
South of, well,
Just-
what's that, Charlie Gables, or whatever that, no, that's,
Charles Gabus.
what's that big Dodge?
Carl.
It's about a block
Carl.
south
Carl
of
Chevrolet.
Casey's and then east.
Carl
I think.
Chevrolet, go south on that and then back to the west.
I have signed up for the city clerk's mentoring program.
Yeah.
There's 3 mentors in this area. The thing that I found out is every city is different.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is done a little bit different.
Yeah. But they are very informational, and they do give you a lot of
Right.
different clues on leeway. That gets you, once you get something like that there, that gives you somebody to talk to all the time to
Well,
follow up on it.
I'm like you, Ray. I agree with, when I was down to the Iowa City meetings, there was a lot of stuff that you would overhear from other people that were having the same problems you were having, and you could find out how they were addressing to get
Yeah.
their situations fixed, so.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor say aye.
I-
Meeting adjourned.
Daryl wasn't here tonight.